Almost there.
Almost there.
It's theme. It's theme now,
That's
you know.
What's themed?
And then hearing you cut out.
Did it cut out again? God damn it.
You're just so enthusiastic. It's a good thing.
I'm switching to the ASMR style of doing things.
It's a brand.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, there you go, Shane.
Welcome to ASMR Wild Beyond the Witchlight.
Allow me to crinkle my bag for you.
And then my ASMR kicked Quincy off because he was like,
We're done.
He's like, I'm done. I quit Witchlight. This tone is not what I signed up for. But hello, everybody. What's going on? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you all lovely people in the chat. Back-to-back weeks. What is it? Our birthdays? Yes, it is. In my heart, every time I hang out with these people, it is my birthday. That's right. I went there. Super heartwarming.
With intense love.
That's right.
How dare you love me so much?
It's great to see you all in the chat. Sorry, it took us a little longer than normal to get started, but hey, here we are. That's the most important thing. As you may have noticed, the lovely Cheide Arctreon is not here tonight. Had to deal with an important family issue, but we love you, buddy. Stay safe, and we will see you next time we play. But yes, so we're going to get through our little sponsorship announcements, and then we're going to jump right into the story. So first up, you know them, you love them. C4 Labs, everybody, the amazing TTRPG company that supports our show each and every week here on the Dicecream Twitch channel. They make amazing dice trays and awesome D&D accessories, TTRPG accessories. We've got some awesome items coming from them soon that we're going to make content with. They got a lot of cool spooky tray themed stuff coming out with like pumpkins and ghosts and all kinds of cool stuff. So make sure you're following Dicecream on the Instagrams for when those all pop off. And also we've got our newest sponsor, Tome of Summoning. Ooh, that is also another amazing D&D company that has these awesome packages that gives you crazy amounts of paper minis for like the price of a high quality plastic mini for anyone who's a DM or anyone starting DMing and you need some awesome minis and all the products you need to play the game. These guys are an amazing, cheaper option that I recommend to everybody. And we have just ended a giveaway with them today. Or no, it was Monday that we ended the giveaway. We're still going through all the picking out the winner and everything. There's a lot of different channels that we got people submitted and stuff. But we'll be announcing that winner very, very soon, hopefully by tomorrow morning. So make sure you're following Dicecream on all social channels to see who that winner shall be. So yes, thank you, Thomas Summoning. And of course, you're going to look at all the links in the chat. There are codes to give away for 15% off your first purchase from C4 Labs and Thomas Summoning with code Dicecream15. So look at all the links down there. Check them out. They support the show. Checking them out supports us. Win-win for everybody. So thank you, C4 Labs and Thomas Summoning, for supporting the show. But yes, we are a little bit behind, so I'm not gonna hold back any longer, everybody. Oh, right. We've got other things that I said. So, two more things. One thing is we updated the Witchlight artwork. Holy cow. The lovely artist Brina Luna, who did the original artwork of the OG Monarch 4 from when we started this crazy storytelling journey 20 sessions ago, because it is, of course, episode 20, everybody.
We've been playing for over a year, guys. That's
Has it
insane.
been only 20 episodes?
Yeah.
I feel like it's been so many more.
Damn.
It's so sweet.
We got plans. But yes, we updated the artwork to include the lovely Cheide Arctreon, which I'm sure when I wiggle my fingers like that, it'll magically appear on the screen.
The sound effects will definitely do it.
Yeah. Look at all that. Look at all that artwork that's happening on the screen right now. Look
at all that chaos.
Yeah. Whoa, look at it. That's right there. Yeah, so we had some awesome art. Brina Luna, amazing artist on Instagram, does a lot of character portrait art. Can do no wrong. They do amazing work. So if you're looking for D&D character art or maybe to recreate a cool scene for your campaigns, please go check them out. They are an amazing supporter of the show and a big fan of our story here. So thank you so much, Brina, for making Arctreon come to life and including them in this wild, chaotic family that we got here. So make sure you check them out on Instagram at Brina Luna Lives. So thank you so much for doing that, Brina. Really appreciate it. And of course, I believe we have a recap video. Aha, see, yeah, Jordan have to remind me. I already did that before you said the text. So, of course, if you're new to the channel, each and every week we do Witchlight. We want to make sure that anyone watching this show for the first time is caught up on all the crazy antics that happened on last session. The lovely, the amazing Jackie Chan goes and edits those videos for you all to enjoy. So we will get to that right now. Kick it off, Jody Rose.
Last time on Wild Beyond the Witchlight.
Now you look here, Claw. No one's going to be able to find you. Or any piece of you.
I'll be watching.
Well, that was weird. Should we be worried about high winds and yourself?
I'd rather just pin myself over to one of your lapels or maybe onto one of your jackets.
Okie dokie.
Like a brooch.
Wait, ahead of you, you notice a throne of sorts.
But I don't think we should touch it.
Can I-
We could just put Abby on it.
Abby, sit on the chair.
My name is Nazikov. How about I gift you a little bit of my psyche for you to carry around? I would love that.
More voices in Abby's head.
Right, no, that's exactly what I was thinking.
You come across 3 giant goats.
This is basically these goats are telling us how to take down Endelin. I have in my bag of holding some aged meat and a wheel of cheese, specifically brie cheese. And I will take that out and I will place it like in a slightly bowing motion, be like, thank you for your prophecies, and step back.
Also, this is Armador here, the gingerbread man.
Incredible. Incredible.
Little tucked away in the armor there.
Ride the lightning, mother effer!
Ninja star! Ninja star!
Amador just like a speeding bullet, like a falling star, just
Boomeranging a dandelion.
It's so good.
collapses. The whole
No.
entire robe falls
I
to
hate
the
that.
ground like there was nothing inside of it at all. So you each grab these cards one at a time, turn them around, and they look like tickets. The words say, "Good for one private audience with Endelin Moongrave." What are we gonna call this glorious moveset?
The dandelion.
The dandelion.
Oh, my god, that couldn't be more poetic if the gods themselves could write it.
Just get that.
It slept me a little bit, yeah. Dandelion. I like it.
There you have it, everybody. Now you're all caught up on all the zany, wild moments that happened on the last session of Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Thanks again, Jackie Chan, for editing and creating those videos. We really do appreciate it. I love watching them every week and just getting good chuckle. Okay, so with all of that out of the way, everybody, it is time. So grab your favorite drinks, grab your favorite dice sets, and let us jump into tonight's session of Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Okay. So, last we left off, the party continuing their journey towards their third hag in the Hourglass Coven, Endelin Moongrave, has taken you to the particular section of the Feywild here in Prismeer known as Yawn, a very rocky, gray, mountainous terrain with rolling thunder clouds, raging lightning that booms off in the distance as your party starts going higher and higher in the mountainous terrains. Last session, as you all just were privy to, had you come across some very strange encounters from some sentient large goats to some very angry rock boulder monsters to a creepy cloaked individual that had an entire rolling puppet master thing that had copies of all of you in it, who raised their hand and gave you a little invitation with Endelin Moongrave herself. And that is where we are picking up right from that moment, everybody. Still hiking further and further, ascending up the treacherous mountain terrain here. The puppetry theater still on wheels, the ragged sort of pile of cloak off to the side. What would you all like to do?
Eddie decides that as he sees the person fall into nothing, runs from his position to the cloak and starts poking it.
Okay, make me an investigation check.
So I think that's right here. I think that's right here.
Yeah.
Right where I moved. Okay, cool.
I love that. Investigation check.
21.
Ooh.
Those are good pokes, buddy.
Investigation.
Poking with
There's nothing here.
Like he actually
yeah.
puts the cloak on to investigate it. That's what a 21 does.
so he's going to investigate it, see what it's about. Maybe it's magical, but he's really concerned why this person disappeared.
Yeah, so you kind of poke it around with your sentience wand there. It's just a pile of draping robes. You start lifting it up. Nobody inside of it. Nothing left behind. It's just a pile of rags now.
Does it a pile of rags, or does it still look like a robe set?
It looks like a robe.
Can Ebby keep it?
You're more than welcome to.
Ebby puts it somehow in his bag.
All right. And the overly stuffed satchel with all of the other things you have inside of it.
Jars and cloaks.
Yeah.
Does the wand complain that it's getting really stuffed in there?
I don't know. It's still mad at me.
It's drama.
Where would you all like to head to next?
To the right.
I have no inclination of where to go, so if Evie, you want to go right?
What is the?
Ooh. Ebby, is there a second option that you'd like to go besides right? I will flip coin for the first time.
Left.
Cool. Can I flip for it?
Sure.
Heads is right, tails is left.
Sure.
So how about a 1 or the symbol?
Got it. Okay.
Sounds wonderful.
Cool. Okay, so heads is okay. I'm gonna let you guys remember that. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Caught it. It is heads.
We're going right.
Wait.
Going to the right.
We're going to the right,
Hey.
sir.
We're going to the right.
Huzzah!
Is there an
Directions.
address on the ticket?
There is not.
Okay. Not that I would know where we are, but still. Just in
Yes.
case if there's like a sign, just like nothing else but a sign, this is this road. Awesome. You know?
No, as you recall, the disembodied sort of sentient cloak, essentially, as the rags kind of fell down, just the glove in the hand came up with individual theater tickets for all of you that had the sort of tapestry and gold foil on them, and on the back just basically said in common, you request an audience with Endlin Moongrave, but no particular address or anything of that ilk on it.
Did I get the gloves as well in that pickup, or just the cloak? Oh my
You can just take the gloves in there as well if you like.
Cool. Sounds fun.
No problemo. Okay. Going to the right then.
Okay, so to the right.
All right.
To the right.
So as you've been kind of ascending more and more, you kind of, when you were at the base of the of Yon and these mountains, you saw as you ascended there was kind of like a streak, a formation of clouds that were kind of hitting certain parts of this terrain. And as you've been going up, certain parts of the clouds have been kind of in your viewpoint, and then it kind of clears out for a minute. But the mists and everything have still been sticking around from here and there. Going off to the right, with Arctreon and Armador trying their best, the sentient dandelion guide, to try to direct you northward. As you've noticed, there's just so many different pathways that kind of go in all kinds of directions, but at least Armador can kind of make sure that you're continuing to ascend rather than backtracking and going back down or getting lost at any point. But at this point, as you're going right, you notice that it kind of curves up, and really you notice that the terrain starts to really become an incline. Like you're really starting to ascend some of the more harder parts of the mountain right now. Moss, I'll have you make me a survival check as you're starting to go up, as the cloud is its thickest up here, but you've got advantage with Armador.
Pin. Let's see. Not much different. That was a 12 and 13 plus 2, 15.
15. Okay.
We all die.
I'm gonna put him in like my
Hey,
hair
yo.
like a pin. I don't have.
Just Lucifer dies because he gave me sass at the start of his intro.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. So
Or am
yeah, so you so you notice that you're actually you're walking for quite a while. Some of these pathways that have connected to certain plateaus. Some of them are 10 minutes long, some of them are 15. But you notice you've been walking for about 45 minutes at this point at a very steady incline. I'm gonna have you all just roll me Constitution checks as the air is starting to get a bit thinner, a bit colder, and you're walking for quite a while.
Is that like a saving throw? So I have to add my bonus to it, or no?
So this isn't a saving. Oh, actually, no. Yeah, do the saving throw. Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
12.
21.
21,
Lucifer hates the cold. He got an 11.
11,
15
Ah,
again.
warm me up. I got a rope.
14 plus 1.
Thanks, buddy.
15. Okay, so
I have little Armadora in my fur little paws to keep him from like wilting.
I'm getting cold. So yeah, some of you start to get a bit chillier. The air is a bit thinner, so it makes it hard to breathe. But this adventuring party, the Monarch 4, starting to work more as a unit. Anyone who's sort of starting to fall a bit behind, you come and aid them. Sort of, if you got to put a arm around their shoulder or just rest for a bit, making sure that everyone's kind of replenishing their energy as they continue up this part of the mountain. So none of you take a point of exhaustion. So good job. But as you kind of ascend further and further up, you notice that you've gone through sort of the bulk of the cloud cover in this part of the mountain terrain. So now you're actually looking down and the clouds have blanketed the view from the bottom parts of the mountain that you're on. So now you've kind of reached that peak where like the air is a lot thinner, it's a lot colder as you're peeking up at more of the points. And if you look over at the map here of Yon, you'll notice where you're situated is at sort of where the bottom part is. There's that sort of, you start to see this as well, this part of Yon as you've ascended up past the cloud cover. So where you guys are ascending is the bottom sort of left part, where those Stonehenge Stonehenge items, those locations are.
Did anyone else see this?
I had to refresh.
It might just take a minute to come onto the screen there. But as you're ascending up the mountain, the cloud covers down below you, and you start to reach this new plateau with a lot of like Stonehenge-looking stone structures arranged in a circle, about 8 of them. But as you're looking up, suddenly a streak of lightning hits a very particular beacon next to you that looks like a very large, shining golden rod with almost like a star or sun design atop of it, as the lightning kind of attracts and smacks it really cleanly, and a blue light surges through it and kind of beams to the ground. As you're kind of now on this ascension peak, you kind of look towards your right, and you see down lower there's a pool of water next to a large sort of green shrubbery area, and what appears, it's weird, it looks like a castle-like structure, but it's not sort of human made. It looks like made from carved out of stone with various peaks and little windows of light kind of beaking out of it, as the mountain terrain kind of curves and swerves with many other peaks and valleys wafting towards it, with much of the cloud cover kind of billowing in like cotton candy. You can see further north, as the peaks of the mountains kind of start to ascend up, there's another sort of pool of water and these various sort of stone stacks, almost like cylinders, sort of surrounding another body of water, and those golden beacons kind of peppered throughout the mountain terrain that's kind of climbing up, golden rods with suns and moons at the top. These you can probably assume are the Fey beacons that you've heard about, these sort of lightning rods that attract the powering of the Motherhorn Theater that you've heard about from End of the Moongrave. But as you're sort of fighting through that thin air, and the clouds are lower and lower behind you, something starts to come into view. So as you reach this new plateau, atop a boulder-strewn plateau stands a circle of 8 megaliths. In the center of this henge, a small checkered game board with stone playing pieces rests on the ground near what appears to be dying embers of a campfire.
Perception investigation check around the area real quick.
Is there a thunderstorm above me?
So not a thunderstorm necessarily. There's sort of the mid cloud cover has gone down. There's still a couple of rolling storm clouds above, but it's just like a streak of lightning that hit one of those beacons, almost like extracting it from the skies above. But there are various storm clouds kind of roaming in this area.
Cool. So it's stormy. That's all I need.
Yeah.
Can Lucifer just use thaumaturgy just to like kind of reignite those final embers? One, because he's cold, but two, just to see if there's any kind of reaction from anything that was around here, if it's still around.
Sure. Yeah. Well, let's start with Quincy and see what you got with.
Only a 9 investigation.
9. Okay. So let's say the campfire is around here. Or actually, yeah, we'll say it's there. So nice. You look around, Quincy, as you've seen that some of the environment here has seemingly come to life in some areas that you've been privy to already. But looking around, you see those sort of Stonehenge-looking structures, 8 of them, about 20 feet tall, hewn from various rock, it seems. They have different colorations, but from your distance right now, you can't really see what types of rocks they are. They just have various colorations to them. But that's about it. You can you see like there's some sort of game board on top of a table with 2 stone cut chairs in front of them and a bit of dwindling embers from the fireplace, but that's about it. Lucy, as you kind of look over to the campfire with the smoke kind of rising out of it, you kind of snap your fingers and just a little mild flame sort of erupts from the crackling wood, and the smacking of embers kind of flying, and little red rocks falling on the ground. Kind of wait for a response.
Okay.
Hear anything?
Okay. I don't know if you guys would. I don't know if you guys would mind, but I might put one of those wooden chairs into the fire to keep it going, as I really dislike the cold.
I don't think you should burn someone's property.
I want to go check out the game board.
Does anybody else have any kindling in their packs?
Abby does produce flame in his hands and holds it close to Lucifer.
I have a cantrip of create bonfire, so if you feel cold, just let me know. I'll keep it
Lucy is
warm.
currently like cuddling closer to Abby than he ever has before. He's just like, I'll keep that on the back burner. No pun intended.
I would like to do an arcane check on the monoliths.
Arcane check. Okay.
Yeah, just to see. Dirty.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. So what are you trying to? You just seeing if they're?
He wants to see, so he sees a monolith as a different type of stone. It's something that's different to him, considering he sees lots of rocks. So he's just curious if these things have anything magical properties to them that may be latent or active.
Okay, so you're walking towards one of the so like let's just say these pointed rocks are the monoliths here.
Yeah.
Do you want to walk up like right up to them and see, or just from where you're clocking?
No, he's gonna take Quincy. Have you moved at all, or are you still there?
I'm where I'm at. I'm
Okay.
we're not really taking turns, but I'd like to go up to the game board before if someone else wants to do something though.
I'm heading right here so I can get a view of all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Quincy, you want to walk up to the game board?
Yeah, I want to take a look and see what that is. What game they were playing.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow you, Quincy.
Lucifer's gonna let Star down and just walk around with Ebby. Because Ebby has fire.
Fire!
And friendship, of course, but fire.
Fire ring.
Imagination.
Imagination. Okay, so Ebby, looking at these various Stonehenge-looking rock formations, staring at it to see if there's any arcane properties on it, any runes inside of it. Make me a nature check really quick.
Okay. Dirty 20.
20. So you can notice from getting a closer look now, and some of the sort of light from the sort of the sun being hidden from the clouds above, some of the gray dim light kind of shining on the rocks for the moment. You can see the different hues and colorations of these rocks a bit more clearer. You can see that the different rocks are made, like one's made of shale, one's made of chalk, flint, granite, slate, basalt, obsidian, and marble. But as far as if the stones themselves are magical, if there's any arcane runes inside of them, they just appear to be just various rocks.
Okay. Abby is content with his knowledge.
Mm-hmm. And then going over to the game board, forgot my sound there. Why don't you, Quincy, make me an investigation check?
Can I give him the helping hand? Do you have advantage?
Yeah, sure.
I'd appreciate that.
I'm like lifting you above it so that you're
Thank
like
you.
looking
I-
down at it.
Thank you so much. Not the best. 13.
13. Okay. Well, just looking over it, you can see that it's a checkered game board.
Okay.
Sort of, you look at it, you see that the pieces depict that there was a game in progress.
I guess what I'm looking for is are the pieces like pushed or askew, like are like there was a struggle, like someone fell on the board, like something fell on the board, or did the people at the table like just leave peacefully mid-game? Like nothing's like to show that the pieces aren't out of place.
Yeah, so just from where you are, looking down, the playing pieces are two sets. They don't look like fallen over. You don't like, you're looking around the game table, you don't see any that are on the ground or look like anything was like shoved over, or someone had been like playing with one and then someone like got knocked over. They're all very perfectly aligned on the game board. You even see a couple that are like on the outside of the game board itself on the table. Like just looks like someone was in mid-game and then stopped.
Any footprints around the board or the game area, like from the fireplace or anything? See if footprints would have walked away or anything like that?
Footprints. Let me just see really quickly. No, not right now. You're kind of looking around. You don't see any footprints that seem to be popping out at you at this moment.
Sure. Okay. Cool.
You notice that the game pieces themselves look a bit strange. Like one's made of shale, the other of chalk. Sort of similar to the type of stones that are nearby.
Sure.
And they're sculpted in a very specific way.
I was about to ask. I was like, are they like, do they look humanoid? Do they look?
So no, they don't look humanoid at all. Actually, they look like tiny, little, like round, cloven-hooved creatures, with like wild beards and like strange, dreaded, braided hair from the tops.
Okay.
Can I do like a check to see if these are magical?
Sure. You can make Yeah, sure. Make me an intelligence check.
Okay. Not my best stat, but it's a stat. That's a 4. Y'all, these are some chunky munchkins. That's what they are. It's chunky munchkin checkers. That's what this is.
Yeah, no, they don't like the pieces themselves. Again, not glowing. Don't have any runes on them. Haven't come across any like magical game pieces before. So they don't give you any reason to think that.
Quincy, you want to play a game? I'm gonna sit down in one of the
Sure.
chairs.
I'll sit down on the other chair.
If I don't think anything of it, then I'm gonna try and figure out what this game is.
Abby, should we watch them play?
Yeah.
Oh no!
While Abby's walking over, can he look up and can he see the moon?
It is currently blocked by the cloud cover.
Oh.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
You can imagine it though.
I shall. I will look into your eyes and see the moon. And he giggles. The moon! Maybe it's the bald one.
I'll have to get that color back from Lava Claw at some point.
Hopefully you find a way to.
Okay, so you two just standing where you are, just watching Quincy and Moss just play this game.
Yeah, watching the game,
I have to
kind of
stand
keeping an eye on our 6.
I will heat them.
Would I know what game this is?
Make me an intelligence check.
14.
14.
If it's a history check, it would be 17.
So this particular game, as you kind of look at the way the board's situated, the design, the pieces, reminds me of a game you used to play with your sister, called Crowns. And as you kind of look at the pieces, the strategies that both players seem to be trying to implement onto each other, you kind of notice that the side that you're on looks like they could have beat the other person in one move.
Okay.
Quincy, switch seats with me. Quincy, switch seats.
All right.
Moss, of course, has no idea about this. But your slate pieces seemingly could beat her chalk pieces in like one move, kind of like checkers. Like you see that you could just go bunk, 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 king. I just won.
Right. Okay.
Does Abby? Sorry.
No,
Does Abby recognize that the pieces are made of the monoliths that he's checked out?
Make me a nature check again.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Yeah, you see that the chalk and the slate very much match the bigger chunks of chalk and slate over there.
Okay. Abby's going to speak up about it, just to, because he sees them looking curious. I was like, I don't know if it matters, but your little pieces are the big pieces.
Do we see any points, like, okay, quick perception check or something like that? Can I see that if there was like, any cuts off of the big monolith stones that were then carved into this? Like, as if the game board was made here?
Yeah, you can make perception or investigation.
I am not running really high right now. Investigation, 14. 8 plus 6.
14. So you see that these stones have a couple of chunks sort of strewn out of them, but none of them to really resemble that, like, that there was some pickaxing or anything going on to like make them from them specifically.
All right. I want to go ahead and do the move that would have won this side of the game.
Okay. Is there any particular way you want to do that move over, Moss?
I'll just be like, have you ever played before? It's called Crowns. It's actually pretty simple. We used to play this with stones and just drawing the board on the ground with sticks and dirt, really.
I've never played. Is this how the board's supposed to start out?
No, this is technically in mid-game, but the point of the objective of the game was to crown your pieces. You did that by going into the other person's territory, almost as if you were the raiding kingdom or king or ruler and take it over. But basically, if you could move in this particular way, and I'll move the piece and go like boom, 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 and that's crowns.
Well done. I don't have a crown for you.
Oh,
Want me to weave you one?
No, actually, my sister used to do that.
You've been speaking a lot of your sister recently. I'd like to know more about her. Eventually.
Maybe when we have a moment. She's just been on my mind lately. But I don't know why the people or the persons here left mid-game. I don't see anything that's strange.
And as soon as you go over and do that crown, and you kind of talk for a minute, you just hear this uproarious laughter. Just uproarious cheering and laughter coming from one of the Stonehenge rock pieces behind you. And you see two characters emerge from two separate pieces of rock that look exactly like the characters on the board. These two creatures with sort of rock gem-like skin just burst out from the Stonehenge pieces with this very tough, strong-looking dreadlock hair, big, huge, bushy beards, cloven hooves, sort of big brows and large hands. One of them wearing like a makeshift sort of rock crown over their heads, and one coming out of the slate-stoned piece and one coming out of the chalk piece, and the one with the crown on their head just cheering and uproariously laughing like, I got you! I knew it! I knew I was going to win! One move away, baby! And I did it! Yes! Yes! And then the other creature comes out of their rock as well, just like kicking stone, and is really, really disappointed. Goes out, Queen Argentile, oh, come on. You know, I was going to bet you some good stuff here, but I thought I had some more moves going. Like, no, Jakku, you lost. These people here just proved that I win every single time. And then starts to sort of waddle over towards the two of you, laughing and cheering as Jakku kind of emerges grumpily to join her as she's chewing on pebbles and kind of glaring at you. Where did you learn to play like that? And just sort of runs over to you.
It was just lined up properly. I mean, anyone who could have seen that was the winning move there.
You'd be surprised.
I would disagree.
Clearly your friend had no clue about my brilliant strategies.
Eddie claps for them.
And clearly you set them up for success.
I start sulking with Jakku.
Did you do this often? What is this? I'm so sorry. I'm a little lost. What the whole purpose of this was?
Well, got a little bit ahead of myself actually. Who are you people? What brings you to these parts?
It's a long story, and we kind of needed a break for a moment here. We just had some golems try to squash us back there. But I'm Quincy. These are my friends. We are the Monarch 5 now, technically. And we're on a particular... We're adventurers, you know, doing the adventurer thing. But we are about to make our way up to the top of this mountain here. And we saw your board here and figured it'd be a good place to rest. It didn't seem like we were imposing on anyone. Sorry if this is your stuff. We didn't mean to.
No, not at all. I mean, it's rare that we get any visitors up in these parts. I mean, I don't know if you're lost or anything, but you're in kind of a very desolate land. There's nothing very fun or cool down there. All we do is just get to hang out down here and play this game. It's been
First and foremost, we've met you all, who clearly have a very fun game, a very nice little campfire setup. What were your names? I caught Jakku. What was the other one?
Queen Argentile.
That's right. Yeah, your feathered friend's got a good ear, Queen Argentile. I am the queen of the Correds.
Oh.
You, my friends, are stepping on a very peculiar land here, Lockberry Henge. It's where our people once upon a time came and gathered for celebrations from all the other clan leaders of the Correds, but since the new landlord's kind of taken over, we don't really have many other places to hang out. And seeing you come up the mountain and everything, you don't look like you would be the Bitter End's servants.
No.
Bitter End servants.
You are perhaps meaning the Hourglass Covens?
They both just spit little pebble rocks from their mouths in the
And
ground.
he spits with them.
I like you.
Oh,
This was like, and how? And just kicks the debt.
That could be someone's baby.
Just like barely. Sorry.
You also, you know of the Bitter End? You don't like her either?
Oh, we're not fans in any way, shape, or form.
So we didn't want to presume anything, but we might be, our adventurous goal might be to...
Kill her!
And paw over the face.
And how? Lucifer kicks the dirt again.
You see
Why is
Quinn
it
Argentile
possible?
kind of get a little bit like not upset, but just hey, keep your voice down, okay?
Her servants are everywhere, all right?
Abby goes up into her. Kill her.
By her servants, do you mean like stone golems or anything similar to that? What should we be looking out for when it comes to their servants?
There's lots of them under her employ these days. These lands used to roam free with all sorts of folk being able to do what they please, but many other people like our kind were kind of forced into a certain type of exile until this could all blow over. You see, the Correds no longer hold large gatherings here at Lockberry Henge as we used to. The consequences of the Bitter End's meddling in our parts, I had to instruct my fellow Correds to ensconce themselves in stone and remain, safely in better hands for the foreseeable future.
What about
As
goats?
someone who's a big fan of parties and social gatherings, I say we fix that and have all your Correns back together as soon as we possibly can. Now, what can we do to help you all make that happen?
I think your ultimate end or desired end would be ours as well. We want to see the Hourglass Coven put to a permanent rest, and we would like to see the Zavilna, for better or worse, be reinstated as the Feywild's ruler.
Yes, we would very much like that too.
And
Alright, then-
Jakku kind of waddles over, and you notice as Queen Argentile kind of moves her head over, you notice that a large piece of their hair has been sort of shaved off, or like various bits of their dreads have been cut off in sort of big clumps. Goes to Jakku, like, do you think we should wake up the others?
I don't know. Do you think we can trust these people? I mean, how do we know they say who they say they are? They might be like the Briganocks and just lie to us and start to conceive and work for them in the secret.
Abby,
Are the Briganocks also servants of the Coven?
Have you heard of that? Are those the Harangons?
No, those are other sevens, but the Harangongs never come up into these mountainous parts and hurt their litty bitty little rabbit feet.
Oh, they won't be doing anything of the sort for anytime soon, honestly.
Oh, you've been busy then, haven't you?
You could say that.
Yeah.
No, the Briganocks are another sector of creatures that have come under the control of the Bitter End. They are miners, you see, and help Bitter build their contraptions. They're very good at creating things, and well, we haven't been in a very good relationship with each other. We feel like they've betrayed the land, and every so often we can hear them, the relentless mining throughout the mountaintops, and it keeps us awake at night, and it's god awful.
Are they doing this willingly, or are they doing this under duress?
I don't know. We don't really talk to them anymore. We even put a bunch of we made some little stone versions of us at the entrance of their mine so that they wouldn't come out of it anymore and bug us or scare us anymore. But we do know that there is a little secret passageway through their mine straight into the mother horn. So I can only assume they're doing it willingly to keep
Okay.
themselves alive.
So willingly, though under duress. Well, we would like to garner assistance if you could help us. I mean, the more hands to take down the Hourglass Coven, the better.
An alliance or friendship, if you will.
We have been trying to come up with a plan, and the only one we can think of so far is to take down the Bitter End's light sources, those electrical lightning rods, so to speak. Would you know how to get to each and every one of them so we could possibly permanently
wreak havoc?
Yes.
Let the thunder free.
And the Queen
Indeed.
Argentile goes up to you and says, I like this plan. Let us console the other clan leaders and think what they have to say. Come on out, everybody! I think the coast is clear. They seem to be friends of the Feywild. And you see the other sort of rock Stonehenge formations of the various types of stone, various chorids, these sort of smaller rock-like creatures start to come out one at a time in various colorations matching the stones that they come out of. You see about 6 more of these chorids come out to kind of support you, all wearing sort of the same kind of clothing and style, but just various head shapes. Some have big giant beards, some have long sort of tufted hair-like mustaches, some have long dreads, some have a bit of a ponytail. As Queen Argentile introduces to you the one at a time. This is Budok of Flint. This is Azael of Granite. Mizdelda of Slate. Yana of Basalt. Noel of Obsidian. And Mallow of Marble.
It is a pleasure to meet each and every one of you.
Who was it before Mallow? I couldn't hear. I'm so sorry.
Mallow of Marble.
Just before that.
Noel of Obsidian.
Noel of Obsidian.
And are you all, like, I guess for lack of a better term, the leaders of your particular type of foundation?
Noel of Obsidian kind of pipes up, kind of in this very like dark coloration of more smoother gem-like granite.
That's right, we are the leaders of all of our various clans, you see. But because of the Bitter Ends meddling in everyone's affairs, we, of course, are not strong enough to take on a hag of the Coven of that importance, so we've just told everyone that we know of fellow chorus to just hide and waiting and hoping a savior will come and free us from this way of living if the Brigannox don't get to us first.
Well, we don't want to proclaim to be the saviors, but we could definitely proclaim to help maybe cause a distraction that you could help us with as well. You heard about our plans with the lightning rods. Are all of your clans spread out across Yam or across this mountain?
And Yana of Basalt speaks up as like, we have many chorids throughout these mountainous terrains in various pockets. But if you're going to go after the lightning rods that power up the orrery of tragedies, you may want to... It's going to be a tough sell, you see, because the Bitter End uses these contraptions to glimpse possible futures. These copper rods on the mountaintops. She channels it into her devices, and she might even see you coming.
Okay.
Is there any way to avoid that?
By being unpredictable.
Or is there...
Always a classic move.
I think what she's trying to say is you might be able to get to one, maybe 2, but going for all of them, she might be sending up backup.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you all, is if we could have them all destroyed or being at least messed with simultaneously.
At the same time.
Like, if there are many of you clan leaders here, and there are much fewer lightning rods. My thought is could we say in 2 days' time, 3 days' time, all communicate, get the communication together, go to the nearest lightning rod, and then when midnight hits, we say timber?
Cause chaos. Eliminate them. Destroy them. Knock them down.
And while you guys do that, we could probably cause a bit of commotion at her front door.
See, so while you're going to take the fight straight to bitter end, you want us to help you with these rods.
Yes, if you'd like.
The more the merrier, especially in the case of
We
taking
would
power away
certainly
from the
appreciate
coven.
We would certainly appreciate that. That could really help what we do.
So as you're looking down at these Chorids, they are very small creatures. They're not as big as the Gelebs were, those sort of
Sure.
sentient boulders. These guys are like this big.
Okay.
like little furball type creatures. So you're kind of
Okay.
looking at them trying to, but they have these long hairs, and some of them are even like holding parts of their dreadlock hairs like ropes
So
over their shoulders and everything.
it's like a rock cousinette.
Exactly, yeah.
But
Okay.
have you ever seen a rock slide in mass? They can still do some good damage.
I
That's
imagine
right.
you all pack a powerful punch.
Yeah.
Every pebble matters in an avalanche.
I've learned to not underestimate small packages. Concise packages. Efficient
are hard.
packages.
Well, there's nothing tougher than a cool red hair strand. These things could grip on and strengthen around the greatest of structures. But as you see, my friends, we are very small, but there are very many of us.
We could have a couple more people to help us, I think.
How many of your people would be willing to join us in this endeavor?
We could get the bullywogs.
I was gonna say, if these guys are the leaders of their clans, how many are in your clans?
We have many pockets throughout these lands, but if we come against Enderlin's forces, I don't know how much we're going to be able to really stand up to them alone. We could use some support if this is how we're going to go and do this.
We know some people.
I want to talk to the dandelion and motion to him. Just like, do you know of any allies who would probably also be available to help us with this?
Maybe you want to talk to your
ants
stick?
or cyclopses
Okay.
or large creatures?
And you
of
see,
nature.
this sentient dandelion friend kind of hop off, or like struggling for a bit to get off of Arctron's chest. Be like, "Hand me down, my furry friend. I need to talk to you fellows for a moment."
Oh, yeah, sorry. Let me get that down for you.
Ow, my leaf.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll put you down here. There you go.
Arctron's putting down Armador. Starts like waddling over to you all with his leafy hands, kind of saying like, bring it in, like a huddle kind of thing. Like, come down here for a minute. Let me just talk to you for a minute. Excuse me, my Corred friends. I'm just going to talk to my associates just for a moment.
Abby has his stick out, by the way.
It kind of gets you guys all sort of around a corner. Going deep down, he's like,
All right, this is the kind of a predicament we find ourselves in. They've already mentioned the Briganox, correct?
Yes. Who and what are they?
The Briganox are another type of subterranean dwellers, only known for mining wishing stones. And there have been a couple of them that have been forcibly inscripted into creepy Lynn's services to help build her contraptions. The Chorids and the Briganox used to live in harmony, but ever since Enderlin took over these lands, she's found a way to pit themselves against each other. And they've mistaken each other for being the hag that caused the problems. You see what I'm saying here?
So, a forceful employment is not a happy employment. Do you think they might be willing to, if properly persuaded or convinced,
Realign?
mutiny?
It's possible. Both sides have had to work for Enderlin for various reasons, either through intimidation or other tactics, and the other clans and the other Briganox and the Correds think that they're doing it willingly, but they're all doing it under duress. The Briganox have their chief architect stolen from them that Enderlin is using against them. So what I think is if we can convince the Briganox to realign with the Correds, that might give you a good, palpable little force to help take down these rods for you.
I think at the same time we should also try to harvest one of those wish stones because we need a wish spell to bring Will back or make him good
So here's
again.
the thing. Nobody has ever figured out how to do that. They don't necessarily become wish spells every time on your material plane, you see. When someone makes a wish, that energy gets zapped and thrown down into the minds of the Briganox. And that is able to produce some glorious, wonderful gems of arcane power.
So a wish on the material plane produces gems in this plane.
Correct.
Interesting.
And the Briganox mine them for their own purposes. And Endelin might have found a way to use that to maybe power some of their contraptions, but we don't necessarily know.
So a wish stone has no effect on the physical nature in this world. Like we couldn't get one in Wish Will. Well,
Not that this little plant knows of.
What about the tree?
Eh?
The tree in the Witchlight Carnival it grants wishes.
well, that's in the material plane. That's what he was saying. Wishes done in the Feywild won't affect things in the Feywild.
But we could go back. And
Don't we have a contact or someone on the material plane? Couldn't we use the mirror to communicate with them and have them
I thought
make
we
the specific
did.
wish?
But
I thought we
what they're
did.
saying is a wish made in the material plane will happen in the material plane. And the only thing that happens is it creates gems in the minds of the Briganots.
Correct.
So here's a question.
And the gems don't do anything?
That's out of my realm of knowledge, my friend.
This might sound complicated, and that's okay if it is. What if we took Will's body to the material plane?
Oh, we could. That takes time, though.
Mm-hmm. What if we brought the mirror to the location to make it easier?
That's also possible, but we'd have to walk back down the mountain.
And can Will fit through the mirror?
I mean, we could all fit through the mirror, so...
Someone's got some kind of shrinking spell or something. We take him apart, put him back together in the material plane, and then wish for him to come back.
All right, as we were saying, so the Briganots...
like a puzzle piece.
You can't do that to people, Lucy.
I
As
will
you guys
hold
are
backstory.
as
from
you
my
guys are
past.
having this conversation, you can hear a sound, a very slight, far-off sound of sort of a pickaxe hitting against rocks, like kicking, kicking, kicking.
What's that?
And you hear the chords start to grind their teeth and start to stamp their hoods as that faint sound of pickaxes tapping on stone is sort of carrying off from a faraway distance against the echoes of the mountains to the like sort of being carried on them on the wind. You see Quinn Argyle just run over to a boulder, pick it up, and just hurl it 100 feet in the direction of where the noise came from. While she screams, "Death to the Briganox!"
Wait, hang on.
I'm
on a
sorry.
while.
Did one of you just throw a boulder 100 feet?
As she throws the boulder, it's accompanied by a loud sound of thunder, kind of accompanying the anger that Queen Argyle and Argentile is putting out there. But yeah, you see this little tiny like rock fae just run up to a boulder, pick it up with both hands, and just chuck it 100 feet.
Queen Argentile, might I just say, what a beautiful feat of strength. We could use that, I believe, to our advantage.
Your Majesty,
Good
Your Majesty.
God.
Oh my word. Okay, first, remarkable, amazing. Let us take care of the Briganots for you. Hang on, don't destroy the mountain, please, while we're inside. Okay.
No longer cold for some reason.
Let us. We have a plan. Our discussion here, real quick, as long as it was, we're gonna try to talk to the Briganots for you guys. If we can figure out some kind of peace, temporary, for what it is, get to the bottom of this Briganot situation. Do you think your people and your massive strength, clearly, will be able to help take down a couple, or all, if possible, of the lightning rods within a couple days?
One second.
And all the various clans of the Chorids kind of huddle away from you and start their own conversation. You see a lot of murmuring and varied voices.
I know they look pretty strong. They're really tall too. Yeah, some of them look like that.
And they kind of break Queen Argentile, with her cloven hooves, like scratching and cracking against all the various stonework, comes over to you, and you see them pick up a lump of rock and squeeze it tightly in their rough and stone-like hands. Opens it, and as the shale of rock falls to the ground, you see a bright purple star sapphire in their hand, worth about probably 1,000 gold pieces.
Are you a wizard?
And she starts to blow on it, and that purple coloration starts to glow and hum. Hands it over to Quincy.
Luce was blushing at this point.
Let this seal the deal, my friend. If you can help us get this land back to the way it was while also getting rid of the Brigannox, that deserves gratitude.
I'll take it, and then I'll also pick up another pebble, unremarkable or fancy with it, but I want to go ahead and do some magical tinkering with it. And I want to imbue a tiny non-magical object that emits a very sweet odor. I want it to smell like peppermint mixed with kind of like the smell of like the warmth of a bonfire, and a pine tree. It's almost very, very Christmas-like. And I want to imbue that, and I want to give that to the queen and be like, you give me something valuable that is valuable of sight. Let me give you something that is valuable of scent. Something that can fill your insides and aura and around an area that we will be back very soon.
It goes around to the Chorids, starts speaking in a dialect of Fae that you're very unfamiliar with, and they just started looking at each other.
We haven't done it in a very long time, but this is cause for celebration. We might be able to get our land back. We don't have to hide in the rocks anymore. We might be able to go back to the way things were. Okay, you know what? Screw it. We haven't been able to do this dance in quite some time. Yes, I have a fear of Enderlin Moongrave coming out, but I think this is the perfect time, because I am elated, my friends, my fellow clan leaders.
Kind of just scuttles backwards with the little hoven feet and starts banging and drumming on their hooves and on their rock bellies.
Good.
All together start doing it, and you see Queen Argentile just start dancing. He's like, yeah, we're finally gonna get the land back. We're finally gonna get the land back. We see two Chorids drum on boulders as the others stomp with their feet and jump around. Then all of a sudden, rain starts to fall from the sky, almost like the environment around them is being changed with their elation of their emotions. There's the rain abides and the sky lightens a little bit, and you start to see some of the clouds clear just enough for you, Abby, to see the moon in the sky, and it's like full crescent mode as the light is starting to shine down and create this very glowing light around the Lockberry Henge here. And all of the Chorids with wild grins and even wilder hair are all dancing. You see a couple of them like, come on, join us! Join us! It's a time for celebration, my friends! Finally! Come! And they're all inviting you to dance with them.
Oh, I definitely do. What do I do? Performance check?
Anyone that wants to join in, they can do either, you can try to impress them by using a strength check, athletics, or performance check.
Oh, athletics.
I was about to say three of
yeah,
them
like
are
break dancing, man. Using your acrobatics to like flip around and doing kind of cool
I'm gonna
stuff.
break dance.
Natural one.
Oh no!
Perfect.
Eddie is going to join, but at first he's going to go into his bag and pull out the jar that has the Gallum remains. I guess that's what they call the rock creature that exploded.
Right, yeah.
And so he hopes that, and he starts and just pours it on the side of the ground because he thinks that since there's so much happy emotion here, considering where it got killed, that it'll be happier here. So he places that down there.
Aw, nice.
And now he does a performance check.
Yeah. So
18 plus 6 is a 24 for athletics.
You were trying to impress the queen.
Strength like that. Watch out.
If you guys on your computers, if you Google Koreds, you'll be able to see it. There'll be a picture that shows up that
How do
shows
you spell
exactly
it?
what it
Yeah.
looks like. Korred.
Oh, that is not exactly how I thought it would be.
Not at all.
That's amazing. It's amazing.
Oh,
so
sweet.
cute.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
They're cute.
And
I got a
brownies.
15.
15,
Can
okay.
I make it in acrobatics instead and do like flips and stuff?
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
Okay, then it's a 19.
Ooh. Abby?
13.
13. Okay. Quincy.
Natural one.
Natural one. So the three of you start to like, they're like, come, and some of the clan members come out and grab you by the hand or just like tug you at the knee, pant leg, start to drag you into the circle. I'll have each of you describe to me what your dance looks like as they're all giving you kind of the "We Will Rock You" beat drum of boom, 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 and you see Quinargatile just popping back and forth, using their hair as a jump rope and just rocking around. We'll start with you, Moss. How do you
Okay.
with the Koreds?
I think with that beat, it's kind of like a festive where she's like light on her feet, and every like bump she does like some type of like jujitsu, and then with the final beat she's like in the air somehow and then back down and in the air. So she's trying to really symbolize like the heavy beats with the lighter tones, and just like trying to make a performance out of it. Like they're small and towards the ground, so she wants to like help with their festivities by adding like air and grandeur to it.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So as you're going around, almost like these like acrobatic ballerina-like moves where you're dancing back and forth, almost like flipping around the Koreds and looking around, whoa, I could never fucking do that. Jesus. I can only roll back and forth. I can't even do flips. I'll probably break one of my stone legs. So as you're like jumping around, doing backflips, cartwheels, Lucifer, how do you join this fray?
So Lucifer doesn't really know how athletics could be helpful, but his acrobatics would still give him a 22. So when he hears these little guys, when he hears the little guys say that, oh man, I could never do that, I'm like, do you guys want to go for a ride? He waits for their response.
Go for a ride? What do you mean? We've just been stuck in stone for months. Any kind of ride would be amazing.
So Lucifer takes turns with two of them under each arm and uses the other rock towers on every single downbeat to do like a wall flip off of those, to have them experience what flipping is like. Moving around, doing some like side flips, so like a lot of flips and acrobatic things that don't require his hands, and just really strong jump strength and acrobatics. So he's just helping them to experience what we get to experience a little bit.
So as you have two of these like almost bowling ball like creatures in your hands with their bulbous sort of rock shaped forearms, like their bodies are like very round, their features are very jutted and cut and bulbous, but their forearms are rather big and their hands are even larger with these stone granite like colorations with their tiny little hoven feet. And you just have them, their feet are just kind of dangling as you're going boom, boom. On the third beat, boom, boom, you flip backwards on the boulder with them in hand. Boom, boom, ah! Boom, boom, ah! Boom, boom. Just doing backwards backflips with Moss flipping around and doing their martial arts moves and pressing all of the Koreds. Ebby, how do you join this?
So Ebby joins, but he is observantly offbeat. And he's doing spins and twirls where his plumage at the end will, when after you guys do like the third beat, his plumage will go ha just out each and every time, and he just gets more fanned out, tripping a little bit, but dancing back and forth. He's never danced before, so it's new, but he's just moving to what he can, and it's just then he gets lost in the fact that he's watching his own tails behind him fly around, and he starts spinning.
No way. Oh my god, it's amazing. So you see this kind of almost Russian dance troupe assortment of movements as one person's doing these like very light and buttery athletic moves with all these martial arts formations, as Lucy's in the back doing backwards chords and giving them almost like a makeshift carnival ride, with Abby in the background going, hey, boom, boom, hey, boom, boom, hey, like a cheerleader clapping the wings out as a backdrop to all of the playful antics going on. And then finally with Quincy, with a natural 1, how do you fumble? What's something, just a very embarrassing move or slip up that happens with these movements?
Oh, I don't know. Quincy's not a dancer. I'm not a dancer. So it'd be the very just like kind of awkward, very self-conscious, just like, yeah. Mm-hmm. What's up? Okay. Yeah. And just like trying his best to not be suspicious about it, but has no rhythm whatsoever. Like every boom boom is like that offbeat by like not like it's like off by a third of a beat, so it just feels so odd.
It looks like the sluggish movement.
It's like I'm trying to catch up with what his brain's trying to do. Yeah, very awkward. And then he kind of notices that this is like, okay.
So as your friends are doing all these very elaborate moves, you feel a little, for some reason, your very confident, boisterous personality feels a little awkward dancing at this very moment. And you see everyone do the extravagant moves, and you're like, how? Like, you're very good with tinkering with things, creating physical objects, but using those emotions that way, you just haven't found the way to express yourself quite in that style. And you're doing more of an Elaine dance and just juddering offbeat. Everything's going boom, boom, and you're going like this, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. And as you kind of do that juddering move, you smack your hand against one of the rocks nearby. Just make me, or actually, no, if you moving your hand, you almost narrowly hit one of the boulders. Make a dexterity saving throw really quick. Just in case you just smack your hand really hard against the boulder.
Okay. Dexterity saving throw 18.
18. So you kind of just doing this, go poof, and just like hit your knuckles against a rock from the jutting. You're like, this isn't worth it. And just sort of walk off. But for Moss and Lucifer, your dance moves are really, really impressing these choreds. Lucy giving them an amazing time and like flipping them around and almost giving them just an experience they've had in a long time. And Moss, as you're like gliding and moving around, just the liquid movements of your of your moves are just like impressing them so much from these rock people that are just used to like hard jutting movements. Like, whoa. Ooh,
I feel like I'm also like using my tail to be like a little bit sensual with my movements.
Exactly. Some of the chords are just like staring at you very still, and they're just like haven't seen any like sensual activity from anything in so long. And they're just kind of looking like, hey, come here for a second. We want to show you something. We want to show you something. And they grab your two hands and kind of pull you over to the side. Same with you, Lucy. The two that are in your armpits currently, as you put them down, they're like, we have something we want to show you. Come here.
Okay.
And they take the both of you off to the side. They kind of give you a similar explanation as they kind of cut off a piece of their strand of hair.
One thing to watch out with the bitter end. She's been rounded, the ones that she's captured, round us up and cutting our hair. And the one thing you gotta know about us Koreds, our hair are very, very strong and sacred to us. They have a mind of their own, you see. They are a part of us. So we want to show you a very simple dance that if you are ever in the presence or find some Kored hair, you'll be able to use it for your own means, okay? So
I'm honored. Thank you for sharing this with us.
this is very important moves that you need to do. If you ever find a clump of Kored hair in her midst, you could use it against her, okay? So remember these 3 moves, okay? Yeah. Ha. All right. So you gotta remember those 3 moves, okay? It's very specific, very sacred Kored awakening dance, okay?
I drew stick figures, yeah.
Then you go here. Then you go here. Yeah. Just like that.
So
Okay.
whenever we find pieces of your hair, or this is a very specific situation, right?
Yes. Our hair is long strands of Kored hair, very sturdy and hardy, and she's been using it to set up and create her contraptions to bind things, to strengthen, make things taut. If you find the hair, do those moves, it'll awaken the sentient, the arcane nature of our hair, and it'll be under your control.
So basically, what the Korrid has taught you through your impressive dance moves has given you an access to what the Korrids have as a bonus action, their command hair trait. So the Korrids themselves with their hair being so long, they have at least like 50-foot long rope woven out of its hair. And the Korrid commands one such rope within 30 feet of it to move up to 20 feet and entangle a large or smaller creature that the Korrid can see. So the target's got to make a dexterity saving throw. If it fails, it becomes grappled by the rope, and it's restrained. And you could use your bonus action to release the target, which is, it'll also free if you become incapacitated or die. It'll lose the magic connection. And the rope has its own AC and hit points.
Okay.
It regains a hit point at the start of each of your turns, while the rope has at least one hit point, and the cord is alive. If the rope drops to 0 hit points, it is destroyed. So for all intents and purposes, if you find like a long strand of Korrid hair, you do this dance to like awaken it basically, and it's under your command.
So the dex save you mentioned before, is that off of our dex or a base dex?
So it's got to beat a DC 13.
Thank you. And do we know the AC right now, or can we?
Yeah, the Korrid hair will have AC of 20.
Thanks.
Very
What?
hard to hit. It's a strand of hair. It just like moves around like a limp noodle. And it's super, super tough. It's made from these very sturdy rock people, very coarse hair, insanely strong. That's why Endlin wants to use them, to use for, like, instead of ropes, use Korrid hair, because it's way stronger than rope and keeps things safely attached.
That AC got the DC out of my head. That was a 14 save.
So AC 20, HP 20.
Yep.
They have to succeed a DC 13 dexterity saving throw, or they have to sort of fail that throw to be grappled.
Thank you. Okay. What? Oh my gosh. I don't have anything nearly as cool as that, but this, and I pull out Moss. Oh, sorry, not Moss. I pull out Fluffy, and I'm like, this rope isn't strong, but it means a lot to me. So if you're sharing gifts with us, I would like to share gifts with you.
And just almost like the alien creatures in Toy Story, the little plushies, they all just look and go,
Okay, I'm gonna start unraveling it, and do you guys like your hair loose, or would you like it to like be part of one of your braids? Do you want a bracelet? Like, I want to give you a gift. You guys gave us this amazing gift. Unfortunately, this isn't magical, but it means a lot sentiment-wise to me. So
one of the chords just pops out. Most of our coloration is just dark and gray, so I mean, any color would be nice, I guess.
Great. I'm gonna make friendship bracelets. So I'm gonna start weaving those, and I'm gonna give it to them.
Okay.
Lucifer just wants to pull out his traditional hempen rope and say, I know that you guys just had to cut your hair, and because it's so specific to you all, would you guys like to take this in exchange? It's nothing special, nothing crazy, but it will replace exactly as much hair as you just gave us.
And you look at Queen Argentile, who like half her head is like various dreads are snapped off, compared to the long flowing ones. She just looks at you like,
well, yes, that'd be very nice, actually.
Maybe use something fun with it. Use it as a nice fancy hair tie for the rest of your powerful hair.
Oh.
Starts wrapping around their long, sort of coarse dreadlock hair into like a side ponytail with this little just, like, sprouting out like a weed at the top.
Yeah,
you look fabulous.
I like this. And just goes around and whoosh, and just whips it against one of the rocks nearby, and a chunk of it falls off.
Ooh, that's gonna come in handy.
This just has a bead of sweat, just. Wow.
Like, Do I have ice? I got cool Lucifer down.
Lucifer just loves like seeing powerful creatures. He's just like, oh.
Can I look up at the sky right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it still clear with all the dancing?
Yeah, there's still like little pockets of it that are a bit opened up. You can start to see some of the stars starting to shine out from the night sky. There's enough. The moon is really, really bright. So even like at night when it's shining through the sort of stormy clouds, there's like a good sort of gray dim light shining in through the mountain terrain here. But this nice joyous occasion. Again, the Feywild sort of reacting to the emotion of it all.
Yeah, I want to talk to Queen Argentile and just kind of ask. I know that you and the Brigandots are not on good terms right now, but do you think that Endlin is using your emotions against you and is forcing you all to hate each other? Because look at the sky. Look at all the happiness you have right now. She can't have any thunder that way. So by aligning and finding peace with one another, we're weakening Endlin right now. Do you think that there could be a possible treaty or unity, even for this short amount of time, to help us get rid of her?
Lucifer leans in and says, "You didn't hear this from me, but love wins," and then just walks away.
What?
Everything stunned face, just looking at Lucifer. Just beaming at him. Who are you?
I don't know.
He's love struck by Queen Argentile.
As you say that to Argentile, with the new sort of side ponytail with their rough and hewn dreads off to the side, their round rock face looking at you.
Well, this ray of happiness came from your presence, your ability to help us and clear the land of all this unpleasantness. The Brigandots never did this. The Brigandots are helping her to build wicked contraptions that are helping to power all of this negative energy. We've also heard from some of our scouts that they also hide in God's schematic diagrams for new contraptions in their minds.
Well, let's get to the bottom of this, shall we? Find out once and for all, yes.
One final thought. From what I interpreted, Endlin has their chief architect and is holding him hostage, right?
That's what Armador told you.
Okay. So I can't
Just
okay.
So you know, this is the thing.
Got it. Okay. Well, perhaps there's more behind their alliance with Endlin. It may be forced, but I encourage you to keep an open mind, because if there's more happiness and kindness around Endlin, she will suffer, and I think it's worth it. But I will leave that up to you. We'll be on our way.
Queen Argentile, one moment.
Yes?
Would there be, in your history's past, were the Brigandots and the Koreds unified at all before? Was there ever a time when there was that peace?
There was a time when we all did live in harmony, but the way the land has been distributed lately and their part in creating it this way, it's going to be very hard to mend it again. But
we don't want to speak for you when we go to the Brigandots. I have a suspicion a lot of the people that we have met I feel very much the same way as you do about the Hourglass Covenant. I have a suspicion that the Brigandots also do as well. We do not want to speak for you and say that you are, in a way, initiating or putting forth an olive branch towards them right now, because you have your reasons for feeling the way you do. But would there be a symbol of something to show the Brigandots that maybe you, the Koreds, are also not for the Coven?
Make a persuasion check.
Natural 20.
Oh, jeez, Louise! Get that inspiration reroll, my dude. Okay. Let me see.
Could I show them possibly the sapphire that you've given me? I'm not sure if that's a symbol or something, but something to show them that the Korads maybe you're on the same side and it's through the mountain that you can't hear it.
The Star Sapphire is our way of giving thanks for a mighty gift out of reciprocity.
And as Queen Argentile sort of reaches behind her mess of dreads, some are still hanging down from the back of her neck as she's kind of gloved a clump right here. And you kind of look behind and you see one that's kind of dyed out of the besides the other ones. They're like a faint blue, apart from the ashy gray from all of them.
If you say what is true, and Endolin is forcing them into her.
Well, I'm not sure. We don't know, but all the people in the clans that we've come across are in the same position as you, where others seem to be for her when they're really not, and vice versa.
You seem you want to help the land. We want our home back. We want to be able to dance in peace and without any encumberment. It's been the first time in a long time we've all been this happy together. But if they have been tricked, which I don't really think they have, but if they have... Boys, come on.
You see 6 of all the clan leaders come together, and each of them, with all their might, start to pull at the faintly blue-dyed strand of Queen Argentile.
Ow, ow, ow. Okay, just one fluid motion. Just one,
Ooh.
They pluck out the very hard, rough dreadlock out of her scalp. Like a stalagmite being ripped out from a rock wall. Various pebbles of her skin fall to the ground.
This strand of my hair was dyed specifically in the process of becoming queen of the Korads. It is part of our ritual of ascending to royalty. You can show this to the Korads and show them the dance to make it sentient. If that doesn't prove that we are not aligned with Endolin, to show them the graceful, amazingly wonderful recesses of our culture, the secret that makes it come alive. And if they are not impressed that we have shown this to you, don't trust them.
Noted. That is very generous of your queen, your majesty.
If you're here to save the Feywild and bring it back to what it was in past lifetimes, no. Thank you. Oh. Wait, what are you called again? I don't think we ever asked.
We're the Monarch 4, though there are 5 of us. Currently 6.
Or 5. It's a work in progress.
Technically,
The monarch
some of
and
it
its
includes it.
kitten.
Yes.
It's an active title.
It's a work in progress at the moment, but thank you, Your Majesty. Thank you. I don't know if we'll be able to be back here very soon, but is there a way we can contact you or send a message?
Over to one of the Korred clan members. Goes over to the one of Obsidian, Null. Big fat stone thumb kind of jutting out in that black obsidian sort of crystallized method.
Sorry, Null.
Ah! Oof!
It's fine. You'll grow it back tomorrow. Don't be such a baby.
Goes over to you.
One-way sending stone.
Oh.
Give your message in
Okay.
this. to go over to Null. Don't worry, he'll be fine. He's just a big baby.
You have been incredibly, incredibly generous, Your Majesty. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing a little bit of light back into these lands.
You have shown much grace to us. We have barely yet proven anything. But if you would like proof of that we are doing what we're doing and to maybe ease any possible doubt that your people may have, I'm going to dig into my bag and produce the 2 feet of Granny Nightshade. This is just one.
He likes foot things. It's okay.
It's just
That's what that smell was? I thought that was just you.
Unfortunately, Granny Nightshade's feet permeate and continue to stench past her expiration date. So.
It normally is just him.
I fire a bolt at him. That's a 13 plus 6. That's a 19 to hit.
Whatever it is, it hits every week.
The first friendly fire in this 20 episodes.
I'm holding the feet. I'm like,
I need to know my damage. How much?
No, it's
Oh, okay.
Just
Abby's
get
just
a little
like-
bit of your feathers on fire for a minute. You stamp them out.
And Jay's like semi-traumatized in his head. And he's like, no, we're safe. No, we're safe. No, we're safe.
So as you give that nice gesture and say like you've been so kind to us, yet we've given you nothing in return, and you show those feet, and
That is a good resume. But if I may add,
and the Queen Argentile just like beckons you to kind of kneel down.
I'll kneel.
Quincy goes down.
if you betray us, and if you don't do what you say you're gonna do, there are many of us hiding in these rocks. We will find you and take our own reciprocity. Okay, so have fun.
I'll stand up and be like, that's good news. It means there's plenty of you. Goodbye.
Always watching.
And then starts to huddle off with the rest of the clan members.
It's just like, why?
They're scary.
They're a lovely people.
Mhm.
And she just said that just to you, Quincy. No one else
Yeah.
is going to figure that.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. So, which way to the Brigadons? I guess we go this way. And I'll point to the direction that the hammering came from, whichever that was.
Yeah. So as I don't know if the map was able to get onto the stream, unfortunately, but if it is on there at this point of Jan, sort of at Lockberry Henge, so there's this kind of sweeping up plateau of rock amongst a bevy of various precipice and points of mountain jutting in a very zigzag way to other locations. You sort of, because you're at a pretty high elevated point as the sides kind of start to slope down, and you look over to the right, and you can see sort of a various large pool of water, and there is one of those rods towards where the cords kind of get on the precipice of the plateau and kind of point towards where the Briganock mine is.
Okay.
So over to sort of the, let's say, southern eastern part of where you are. You gotta kind of slope down, go past a pool of water. There is a lightning rod with a moon, sort of a copper rod with a moon attached on a sort of one of those precipices on one of those mountain points, and then it goes into a more bushy green area and what looks like this sort of structure, almost like castle-like, but it's just made out of various stalagmites, kind of extruding out of the ground and pointing up.
Okay.
There, over there. That's where the Briganocks are. That's where the mine is.
All right. See you soon.
I'm looking forward to it.
So just go to the left.
All right, come on. We've done enough dancing. Let's go hide in the rock and wait for them to come back.
And and then Arcturion picks up Amador. Sorry, Arcturion picks up Amador and start going over towards there. Like, all right, friends, to our next meeting. As the rest of you start to make your way down the mountainside towards the Briganock mine, we'll take a first break
Cool.
right here before we
Perfect.
go on to part 2 of our Feywild journey into Yon. Thank you so much, everyone who's been commenting and hanging out with the chat. Really appreciate it. Sorry for some of the flubs that have been going on today. Today we chose violence, apparently, with our Twitch stuff. So thank you all for getting through us with that. But yes, we will take a short, like a pretty quick, like 5-7 minute break. We won't be too long, because we want to give you guys as much story as possible for starting late. So refresh the drink, stretch the legs, and we'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
I'm so thankful.
Hello, everybody. Thank you all so much for letting us take a quick break there while we refresh the drink, stretch the legs, all that good stuff. But we're going to part 2 of the story, everybody. So let's jump back into things, shall we?
We're prepared.
We are. From across the room, we're gonna do like the dragon dance, like an avatar. We're just gonna go, huh? Hit.
And make all the link noises while you do it. Damn it, why did I make that canon? I should have remembered that on the spot. Be like, you have to make the link noises as it happens.
No, it's
That'd be
canon
hilarious.
now.
Okay. So as you spend a little bit of time trudging through this very high ascended part of Yon, after your encounters with the various clans of the Corrids, they direct you towards where the Briganock mines are, where you're either going to try to amend a truce between the two to help them take down some of these copper lightning rods for you, or maybe just find this supposed secret passageway that's inside these mines that'll take you straight to Motherhorn and Endlin Moongrave. But
Came up with them.
as you start to make your way towards the entrance of the caves, you sort of make your way. Everyone just make me a quick athletics check as you're kind of ascending down, like descending very steep, sort of rocky cliff sides here.
I love
30,
it.
20.
Ascending down. I love that
Descending
so
down.
much.
sorry.
I love that so much.
Also, can we consider that hangout with them a short rest or no?
You weren't actively like sitting for longer than an hour.
That's true. I was backflipping, so.
If you wanted to at some point along the journey towards the Briganock mine to just chill out for an hour, you can.
Anybody want to do that?
I have to talk to
Are
my
you
stick,
injured? Are you injured?
I am down. I still have these 9 temporary hit points from Quincy, but I'm at a 35 out of 46 max hit
So
points. at the moment.
those
Go away.
hit points would have been gone after battle.
He gave those to me after I used them the first time. That was from after the.
Yeah, so they only last for about an hour, and then they're
Wait,
gone.
they're gone. I have 35 out of 46 max hit points.
That's not too bad, but if you
Not
want to
terrible.
if you want to take a rest, we can.
Because I imagine I can't use a bonus action on the go to heal myself.
Do you want to fight?
I can heal you. I have cure wounds. Do you want it?
Yeah, just in case we run into something.
Okay.
I know we have 2 tanks with us, but
Yeah, you can use second wind while walking if you want.
I can use the second wind to heal myself. Moss, let me try that first.
Okay.
Moss, let me try that first.
Okay.
Never actually
I
done it
have
yet.
like a paw with like my little pink pad like glowing with aura. Just like, okay.
A 1d10 plus 6 HP. 1d10.
Roll well.
Roll high.
Hip. Hip. Nice. 7 plus 6 is a
Great.
13.
Perfect.
Whoop.
So as you're sort of descending downwards on the cliffside here, what did you all
That
get
was
for your
exactly what I needed.
what'd you get for your athletics?
14.
Dirty 20.
14.
Hey, DC 10. So yeah, you all just be able to help each other out, just slide down the rough rocks, kind of gliding along the shale pit, kind of sliding down, grabbing against some rock holds so you don't tumble or lose yourself, to flip down, and you're all able to very strategically make your way down without any fuss. And you start to make your way on flatter ground as you pass by a large sort of pool of water. Doesn't seem to be any creatures or creepy things around it. Just seems to be sitting there gliding, mirroring the moonlight and the clouds above it. Every so often, you're hearing just the faint rumble of thunder and a bit flash of lightning as various lightning streaks bevy into some of the copper poles and those lightning rods that you've seen up until this point. And Quincy, as you are kind of walking along, you guys are getting closer to the mine entrance, probably walking for like 15 minutes or so. That strange purple light that's emitting out of the star sapphire kind of intrigues you a little bit. I'm going to have you make me a little Arcana check on that.
Okay. 15. 12 plus 3.
Okay, so you kind of notice that the stone has some strange properties to it. You like as it's been in your possession for a little while now. You feel a little bit of a strange sensation kind of rushing up from your arm into your forearm. Kind of like when your arm's been kind of falling asleep and you kind of feel the rush of blood come into it. So you kind of studying it for a while and you feel yourself just a little lighter, just a little more agile, a little bit of a pep in your step, almost like an arcane shotgunning of a Red Bull, as it were, the more you hold on to this. So the star sapphire seems to sort of mimic the properties of a stone of good luck.
Okay.
So while you have this on your person, you gain a +1 bonus to ability checks and saving throws.
Oh, awesome. Great.
Yeah.
Cool. For 24 hours.
24 hours, correct.
Okay.
So you'll notice it when it stops glowing that those properties have unwaned.
Cool. Perfect. So if I know this, do I know that the value of the stone would probably go down once it stops glowing? So it's no longer like worth 1,000 gold pieces?
No, the sapphire alone is worth 1,000 gold pieces.
Perfect.
The fact that it's got this property, I mean, it's only allowed for 24 hours, so it won't really add much value to it, but it's a very expensive, literally an originally crafted sapphire right in front of you. So yeah, it's an expensive little rock.
Cool. Wonderful.
But the rest of you start to make your way towards the entrance of the mine.
What's that green?
Shane's screen becomes a predator eyesight POV for some reason.
My camera's trash. I'm sorry.
You all see a laser sight go onto Eddie's body, and a predator jumps out. Oh, what a sweet D&D monster that would be!
Oh my god, that'd be insane.
I am home brewing that shit now. Thank you, Shane, for giving me that inspiration.
I'm so happy my hell community.
But yeah, so as you make your way towards the entrance of these mines, you can faintly hear the chirping of hundreds of tiny pickaxe echoing out of this entrance. And as you're getting closer, this sort of hewn down pathway rivets its way past stone and rock and gravel. And you see something kind of strange, but it was kind of mentioned to you already by the Chorids. After the sounds of the 100 pickaxes, tiny pickaxes and hammers are chirping away at the stone inside. You can tell it's emanating from the mouth of the cave that's surrounded by many almost finger-like appendages of rock reaching skywards above it. But several feet away from the entrance, you notice various statues of irate, hairy creatures with cloven hooves that are positioned so that they lean around trees, peer over boulders, all staring balefully at the cave entrance. What the core had said before, they said they put rock statues of themselves like at the entrance of the cave mines, almost to scare the Briganox from not coming out, to make them imagine there's like a bunch of them waiting for them outside. Almost like the trolls in Lord of the Rings when they're frozen in place and made to stone, kind of have that vibes to it. But as you kind of slowly make your way past that, You're facing the cave entrance to what supposedly is the Briganock Mines. Would you like to continue?
Quick look around the cave entrance or peer inside. I want to do a check for traps, I guess.
Yeah. Investigation, perception.
Perfect. Perception +5, 18.
18. You just sort of hearing the king, 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 all of the sort of cacophony of hammer to stone, pickaxe to stone, all the inner workings of the supposed mine coming out to you very faintly, giving you the sense that like whatever's happening is very, very deep inside. It's not close by. It's very, very faint still. But you don't see any traps. You don't see any trip wires or anything. Just sort of the darkness and the tunnel starting to wind down.
It seems safe. I think we should go in. All right, I'll walk in first because I have night vision. Or dark
Lucifer
vision.
has night vision and those goggles.
True.
True.
Lisa, you want to go first?
Sure, I got full health.
All right, cool. Let's go.
Lucifer also goes ahead and uses his goggles of night.
Okay. So as you're able to sort of night vision your way inside, you see that the twisting labyrinth within is around 8 foot high, 3 foot wide tunnels.
Ooh.
So they're like fairly narrow. And they all corkscrew into the ground. So they like the tunnels themselves seem to be big enough to like the size of like a pony could probably get through, but not much bigger or larger, if that makes any sense. And it just starts to descend downward. So you begin to enter the mines. And as soon as Lucy enters, Quincy and the rest of your party, the constant picking axes and hammers, king, 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 suddenly stops. And the mines just become silent.
Lucy turns and very quietly whispers to his party, just because he doesn't know how much sound echoes and how good they can probably hear everything. He just says, I'm going to keep my weapons out of my hands for now, just so we don't seem to be aggressors in any way. And then
So you put your weapons
forward.
away.
Correct.
Okay. I'll put my weapon away as well.
I am a weapon.
I was about to say my hands are weapons.
I look at Abby when he says that. I'm like, and keep walking.
Lucy's like,
With my
Lucifer's
night
like-
vision, I clock that.
Wait, does Abby have night vision?
Oh gosh,
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Where do
Okay,
I look? Where do I look for that?
It's bottom.
It would be in like
left?
features, traits.
Oh, never mind.
No.
Okay. You clearly see Quincy roll his eyes at Abby.
I just kind of nod and I just kind of like take a wing of Ebby's and just like lead him. Me and Ebby are last.
Just a happy bird and blind, like.
Go on, Ebby. It's okay.
See nothing.
Is it Kevin, with Lucifer's dark vision, does he necessarily need the goggles of night, or could he let Eddie wear them for now?
Yeah, you totally could. The dark vision gives you a pretty good range of sight in darker regions. The night vision goggles then gives you a little bit longer of a radius, but yeah, you could very much give them to Abby to help.
Cool. Lucy goes ahead and just passes the goggles. He checks real quick to see if his dark vision is good enough, and he's like, I didn't need these in the first place, and just passes them back and says, very much one of those telephone, hand these to Abby, and just keeps walking forward.
And there's Abby.
And this. Here, Abby. I just like put it on his head.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna be like, what?
No. Put him on your eyes. Over your
Like
beak.
this?
Good. Yeah. No. Just like a little toddler. I have to like kneel down. Like, hold still. Just like put it on your eyes.
Okay, it's like a little tiny head, so it's gonna be like a huge string just
I
coming
know.
off the back of his head.
Hold on. I got this.
So as you situate the dark vision goggles onto Ebby, you begin to continue your further descent into the mines, corkscrewing, going deeper and deeper down. And you begin to walk for about 10 minutes or so, and then you start to hear the various racket of the pickaxe and the hammers pick up again. Again, very, very faint, further down these mines. Almost like, when you hear crickets around, and if you start to get closer to the source of the crickets, just becomes silent. That's kind of like what you felt at the start. And then as you're going further and further inside, you start to hear them again. As you're walking further down, the racket goes from faint to a little bit more audible. And the more that you and the Monarch 4 start to descend, the pickaxe and the hammers almost seem to have a rhythmic quality to it. Sort of going from a very randomized sort of smattering of sounds to all of a sudden them all becoming in unison, hearing a kicking, king, kicking, king, king, kicking. And as your party members go deeper and deeper into the mines, you start to feel a little woozy, almost hypnotic-like, as the rhythmic sounds of the iron going against stones makes you all feel a little drowsy. I'm going to have all of you roll me Constitution saving throws.
Okay. Wait. The rhythm is making me feel drowsy?
Seems the audible music of the hammers and the pickaxes and the stones is making you a little bit uneasy.
That's weird. Does this count as a magical thing?
It's charming, I think.
You're not too sure.
Because I'm a half elf and magic can't put me to sleep and I can't be charmed. Or I have an advantage against being charmed.
You have advantage being in charm. This is not a charm.
Lucifer got a 18 plus 4, which is a 22.
I have a 15 Constitution
16.
saving throw.
18.
15, 16, 18. So
22.
Lucy, you are in the front. Party behind you. I'm sorry, Aiden. It's a 1.
Oh no.
Wait, you have to roll for Armador.
That's true. I do have to roll for Armador.
Do we have to roll for star?
Sure.
Yeah. Do roll for star.
Because both star and I almost wanted to say Arcanine, which is not his name.
That's a Pokemon.
Right, and Aiden also have dark vision. Cool.
But as you're going down these mines, you just suddenly, Lucy, behind you, just hear.
Cat down!
And then you look behind you, and your party members, all of them, are passed out on the ground, sleeping. Except you.
What's my
What
wand
kind
doing?
of DC is that?
19.
Lucifer does one of those things where he just turns to look back. He's just like tries to play very cool, even though there's nobody around him, nobody around to see him play cool. And he's just okay. Does Lucifer know, and I assume he doesn't, does he know where this one-way speaking stone is that was given to Quincy?
Do you know where it is?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw where Quincy put it
I
necessarily.
assume I didn't. Because I said, love is the answer, and walked away. Okay. Lucifer is going to try to wake his friends up one by one and see if he has any luck, because he doesn't really have anything on him like smelling salts or anything to bring them about.
You kind of sort of rock Ebby, Arctreon, and Moss a little bit.
Yes, I'm a natural blue.
They just appear to be fast asleep. You go over to Quincy, and with Quincy being a half elf who cannot be put to sleep, as far as I remember, from a half elf trait. Let me just see that. I know elves
Okay.
can.
Because worst comes to worst, if Quincy is somewhat conscious, I'll carry him with me, but then I'll sit up the other party members, like kind of just leaning up against the side of the wall, even though Achaidh is massive, and I don't even know where he's even fallen with his massive
Yeah,
body.
so half elves can't be put to sleep. So you go over to Quincy, who's kind of knocked out for the initial integration of the spell. You try to wake everyone else up at first, and you're Quincy. You just starts to get woken up.
What happened? What happened? What happened?
So as you can tell, this rhythmic knocking, clanging against rocks with the pickaxes is doing something to us. We don't know what it. I don't know what it is. You guys are the specialists when it comes to magic and charms. I mean, I do some charming, but that's besides the point. Everyone has passed out.
How long?
I don't know. Do you know? I
Wait,
can't
no.
wake
How
any
long
of
was
them
I
up.
out?
You were out for a solid 60 seconds until I came over here and tried to wake you.
Okay, good. Okay.
Do you have that calling stone, and can you use it more than one time?
Sending stones off can only be used once a day. Why?
I would suggest we send a message to our friends to come gather our party members and take them somewhere safe, and you and I continue forward and try to go have this conversation with these, because I can't carry everyone back.
No, absolutely not. I mean,
What are your passive perceptions?
Mine?
passive perception? 15.
Passive perception is 11. Dark vision. Oh, I'm sorry. I have dark vision to 120 feet. Good God. It used to be 60. I guess the level up changed that.
You look over to your party members as you're standing up, talking to each other. You take your eye off the ball for a second.
Oh no.
But Quincy, just off the corner of your eye, of your periphery, you see what looks like a blur. And because you're using your dark vision, you're looking in grayscale.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't see any colorations, but you see just like about this, just a flash and blur of several things going over your party members and fleeing. And suddenly they're all pinned down to the stone mines with pintons and rope. Really thin rope.
Our party members are tied down now?
Yes.
Oh, hey!
In a flash.
Do I see anything around us now that I'm kind of purposefully looking now?
Make me a perception check.
Is Ebby still wearing the goggles of night, or were those taken?
Yeah, they're still on there. They're
okay,
just
so
they look like the pintons look very tiny and the ropes look very tiny as well. Kind of like Gulliver's Travel style of being pinned down.
Mm-hmm.
I was only an 8 for perception.
Oh, you son of a bitch. I rolled a 9.
Nice. Cool.
So you sort of look around like, hey, who's out there? Sort of echoing down the cave walls. Who's out there? Out there. And you're looking around, and just poking out of the hole in the cave, you see this little tiny creature, mouse-sized.
Okay. Hello?
Itself back in.
Who's there? Are you a brigand rock? Hello?
See the little head poke out.
We mean absolutely no harm to anyone here. And was it you people who did this to my friends here?
You see this, like, it's hard because you can't see in color, but these small mouse-like creature with looks like I guess you can kind of tell that it's a beard because you can kind of see white a little bit. This almost like pig-like snout, this slender head with gray sort of mousy beard-like structure around its mouth, and tufts of white hair sort of aligning its back of its head. These little like wide mouse-like ears, wearing this little like cobbled together vest with these strangely like muscly arms with 2 little leather gloves, and it's just like poking itself out from the hole.
My party and I mean no harm. We're sorry for trespassing. We're here to talk to the Brigand Rocks. It's something very important. Are you them, or do you know of them?
And you start to hear footsteps.
Lucy is standing right by Quincy's side, but he's kind of holding his tongue right now because his party is like the closest thing to him, his family. So the fact that they just got ambushed has him like extremely heated. So he's letting Quincy do the smooth talking for now. He's not trying to scare away any of these little things.
And as these footsteps get a bit louder coming to you from the direction that you were walking towards, you hear a very calming, sweet, sultry voice echo through the cave walls. Don't worry about them, darlings. I don't think they're the regular folk that we've been seeing in these parts lately. And through the shadow, a tall, slender female human, clad in dark leather armor, greets you. Their friendly face brightly illuminated by a tiny wisp of light that floats next to a mouse-sized creature perched on the human's shoulder. Greetings, trespassers. Didn't anyone ever teach you how to knock?
Hello.
Lucy just very dryly says, "There was no door to knock on."
Yeah, indeed.
Are you the Brigand Rocks, or part of the Brigand Rocks?
I am someone who protects the Briganox from intruders and otherwise unsavory types. And Quincy, with your passive perception, you can see there's a tiny Briganox on the shoulder of this humanoid, just holding like a dancing light, like a little globule marble sized of light that's kind of illuminating the rest of the cave walls here. And you also notice two more Briganox hiding on this person, one tucked comfortably in a belt pouch, and the other one sort of peering over the rim of her left boot.
I can't really see quite super well, but is it all right if I shed some light in here?
You may.
I want to cast light, and I'll cast light on one of my tarot cards and just kind of hold it up.
The light just starts to shine everywhere, starts to creep around the bends of the mines and the walls around you, almost like a tunnel, like a snake-like visage of light just embedding all the darkness around you. You see crystal clear, little bits of shining gems and rock illuminating the walls of these this rock caves as it kind of loses the light as it bends around a corner there and bends as it steeps down, further descending into the mines. Party members still asleep.
We don't mean any harm. I don't know who you are, but we're here to try to find the Brigand Rocks and make a truce with them, or to see if they're really as evil as other people say. We've heard rumors that they're in cahoots and under the spell or influence of Endelin. We want to know if that's true or not.
Lucifer decides to like swallow his anger for now and help out Quincy. And he's like, "We've brought a peace, a gift of peace, a sign of peace from the Corins, who, as far as we are aware, you all used to be peaceful and even friendly with. You used to break bread together, and we have come to speak with you all about returning to those ways."
Of course, the Correds sent you. My guess was either going to be Correds or one of the Hag sisters herself. Not many of the kind seem to wander into these mines since I took over protection of these little creatures. And
if you think we're... Go ahead.
So you see her just kind of start to scratch around their chins. And now that you have light illuminating in here, seeing things in the regular color scheme, these creatures have a very light green skin to them. They're Their little gloves are like tan hide. They have little tiny like cotton pants and little tiny little leather boots, and some of them holding like various tiny little pickaxe and little shovels, little pink snouts, and the inside of their ears a little bit pinkish color as well, with various gray hairs coming out of their elbows and out of their chins, and almost like some have like mullet chops, and some of them have like horseshoes around the back of their heads, big bushy eyebrows, but also like white as well. Where are my manners? My name is Mulliver. What
Mulliver.
Yes.
Quincy, my tall, horned friend here is Lucifer.
And our other friends that have been so forthright pinned down is the rest of our party.
Which is understandably so if you're in wary of people coming to you from the Hourglass Coven.
With no door to knock upon.
Granted, not right now, Lucifer. But we're not in any way hired by the Hourglass Coven. Our employment to them is non-existent, or it never has been. And I'm going to throw down the 2 feet of Granny Nightshade. Doesn't seem like much, but it definitely smells like her. These belong to the now late Granny Nightshade.
And you see Mulliver just looking down at you, looking at the feet. And Mulliver's outfit as well, now that you can kind of see it in better light. She's wearing this dark leather armor, sequenced in like a grid formation, sort of padded into it with various gold sort of armored inlays into the pauldrons and the shoulder pieces, little gold specks kind of coming out of it. Same with the leather hide chest piece that kind of goes down past the waist, with a belt with 2 daggers and a long sword at their side, with a dark blue, sort of navy blue undershirt underneath their armor, with some dark brown leather gauntlets, very tall boots with a sort of a slit for a dagger to go into on the side, and a long flowing blue cape with a hood resting in the back of her head, dark skin with a little gold band around her forehead, and long flowing dark hair. As she just kind of looks all this over.
You called yourself the protector of the Briganauts. Then then I would hope that we're on the same spectrum of wanting to help the people of the Feywild.
You could say that we consider ourselves the protectors of those who've been wronged by the Coven.
I used to run with a group that took up a very similar iconography, but well, I left that life a little long time ago to help those less fortunate. It seemed our efforts were a little bit of a lost cause.
I know we've only just met, but that sounds very honorable. Can I ask what happened? And Lucifer at this point is not being pretentious at all anymore. It's just genuine conversation. As he can't sense that there's like any evil or ill will here. Hesitant, but not concerned.
Oh. Well, let's see about waking up your other allies first and see if they're as hospitable as you. Come on, friends. Do your thing.
And you see the Briganauts jump from the shoulder and come out of her belt pouch, go on the ground. And then you see a couple come out of holes in the cave walls and start to climb themselves down the ground. And you just see their bodies blur out for a quick second. Just go like blur out, go over your friends and blur back. And your friends are released. The pittons are out. The ropes are gone. And they each start to wake up.
Sorry about that, but we do have to have our precautions. And my green-skinned, white, furry friends here can be particularly quick when they want to be.
That's remarkable, honestly. Now, I'll be frank, and we'll get to the matter at hand, honestly. Are the Briganauts under the control of the Hourglass Coven?
And Lucifer just kind of gives like a little backhanded sign to the rest of the party, like, Just stay seated. Let us continue this conversation. Understanding that they're probably extremely confused, just kind of give them a sign of everything's okay. Give us a moment.
How fast do we wake up?
You wake up pretty fast. You start like as soon as she commanded the Briganauts to kind of wake up, your eyes start to open and the
You
blurred
get a bright
vision.
light because of
Yeah.
the light that Quincy's holding up.
Okay.
Yeah, sort of your vision is greeted by a giant shining light that Quincy has above him. So it's a bit blurry, a bit stinging for a moment, but then you were able to focus and you kind of see the situation in front of you. And as you ask,
yeah, go ahead.
sorry, as you ask that question of Molliver, she says, "No,
Good.
not exactly. And Creeping Lynn has kidnapped the Briganauts' best architect, Golmo."
heard.
Oh, you did? Did the Corrids tell you that?
Well, they told us that the Briganauts were in cahoots with the Hourglass Coven, creating woeful instruments of mayhem for them. I believe my party and I, my friends and I, have been all throughout the Feywild. We've been hither and thither, and now here we are yon. And every group, tribe, and clan we've come across has begrudgingly, one way or another, has been forced to serve the Hourglass Coven, whether by their own want and desire or not, mostly out of survival, really. When I heard from the Corrids that the Briganauts were in the same thing, I did not feel it just always only seemed right to get it from you guys.
Well, as you can see here, these little guys, although they may be quick, they don't pair much of a threat to those stronger than them. They had their best architect, Golmo, who now has been stolen from them, who now toils in Motherhorn, designing new contraptions for the hag under duress. None of the Briganauts here do any of her dirty work, not without some very heavy intimidation tactics.
So it's Golmo, their architect, that's actually the one forced to serve Enderlin.
Correct. They think the Corrids provide Creeping Lynn with locks of their magical hair, which she uses to build her contraptions.
It seems that two sides have been told misinformation.
Can Lucifer go ahead and pull out the braid of hair from the queen as a sign of, or just kind of pull it out and say, "We were sent here with this from the queen to show you all that they have in fact not been doing that. In fact, Enderlin and the Coven have been stealing their hair. They've not been doing it by choice. The hair is being stolen, and you know how important their hair is to them. They want nothing more than to end this quarrel, end this harshness, and go back to the way things were."
You think you're the ones to do it, huh?
Absolutely not. We'd more so like it to be put back into the hands of the people of the Feywild. We were here sent on other missions and another thing by our employer, wanted to find out where Zabilna was. And through our journey, kind of stumbled across this bigger problem, and it only seems right to put it back to normal, doesn't it? We'd rather really like, if we could ask, the Briganauts and the Corrids to help us, if we could unite in a way, to do it all together.
Fight for a common cause.
We're not really in it for the glory or the really anything like that. It was honestly supposed to be a good payday at the start, but it ended up turning into being something a little bit more worthwhile, you know?
At that part of the conversation, mentioning that very specific line, make me a persuasion check at advantage.
All right. 11's the high one, persuasion. 16.
So as you mentioned that, this very much like this started as a job, and we're getting kind of sucked into a larger thing here. And Molliver hears that, and just you see a smirk go over their face. Their very confident demeanor just gets pierced for a moment. You see her kind of look away, reminisce.
Yes, I know all about that all too well. I'm not from around these parts either, you see, and I also too stumbled into the Feywild under a job. Well, this has been my home for some time, and at one point, me and my friends also thought we could take over and change things back to the way they were, but you know, these hags, they have ways of getting into your mind.
I've got nothing there.
My friend, the bird, he speaks right, but
That is Ebby, and the large feline is Moss, and the even larger feline is, well, you know, if he chooses to introduce himself, he can. Arctreon.
Oh, so I suppose you've got some sort of fancy name then for your adventuring party?
I think
It's a work in progress.
it was a work in progress. We kind of stumbled on it when we were at this carnival, you see, and I don't know, butterflies seem to be a favorite type of thing there, and it was Monarch 4, and now we're 5 and 6 and 7. I now pointing to the star. It's a whole thing, really, but I feel like we're getting off track for a moment here, but your party did wonderful then. Your party did well. I mean, we are now 1 hag down, 2 to go, so to speak.
Can we
That
ask
lo-
you what happened to the rest of your party
She kind of
and
takes
your plans?
She kind of takes out a dagger, not in a confrontational way, but just like in a playful way, and starts like sort of playing with the tip of it, with the tip of her finger, leaning against a bit of the rock wall.
Well, my friends came into here. We were hunting a pack of villains from our home plane. Our name wasn't as unique of a play on words as Monarch 4 with 1, 2, 3, and just counts like the 7 members that you have in there now. We called ourselves the Valor's Call.
Where did you hail from originally?
And where did the call come from?
The call didn't come from anywhere, sweet sugar. We never really made a call. It was more of a declaration of to spread our valor from place to place and help those in need. We came to these lands chasing after a particularly despicable group of people known as the League of Malevolence.
You're the second person to bring up that name, actually.
She just looks at you, cocks her head, becomes very intrigued. Who else have you been talking to in these lands?
We've talked to a lot of people, I'll tell you, but the only thing that I quite remember, I'm not sure who it was from, but we heard the name, I recall the name Kellic, once the staff from Galadon or some sort of thing. But there was someone who was going to go do something to, I think it was a little dragon fellow, I think.
Kellic? Dwarven, yes?
I believe so, yes.
You saw Kellic?
And she
Well,
just
I-
looks completely surprised.
Oh, I don't think we saw Kellic. I just remember the name Kellic. I think the person who told us, who was it? It was this. I want to think it was a small little purple dragon, mustache, had a rapier, so very, very fluently or ostentatiously, really. But no, yeah, you're just the second person to mention the League of Malevolent Evil. We were League of Malevolence. I'm sorry. Yeah, we just came across that name. I think it was. Didn't we take an orc out who was trying to hunt down the unicorns for that?
We did indeed, I believe.
I think he was working for them in some way, hunting down unicorns, and we put a stop to that real quick.
The little
But,
purple dragon you're talking about is Sir Tevlar.
Tevlar. Does that name ring a bell? You're muted, Kevin.
Oh,
Oh, there it is. Just wasn't catching you.
Talking too quietly.
Ugh. Sir Tevlar. I remember the little purple dragon working with someone at some point, but doesn't seem to recall a Sir Tevlar.
So I mean,
What was the name of the little creature, like little grandma, but she had the keys?
Jingle jangle.
Jingle Jangle. Does that ring a bell? How about the name of the Bollywog that
King Gullop? No.
No, the one that teamed with us, allied with us. Bollywog. I don't remember his name.
So I will actually, because you hung out this person for a lot at Granny Nightshade's place. Elkhorn.
Oh, it was Elkhorn?
Was the
Elkhorn
stout,
was a
sturdy dwarf,
Yeah.
combatant who was saving the children.
I don't know if he was part of the thing.
He was part of Valor's Call. He mentioned that, I think.
Oh.
You know, we've allied with many people. Do you know somebody else who's helped others in need? Do you recognize the name Elkhorn? He's still very active in these parts and doing amazing things. In fact, he stayed back to continue to protect those who need protecting. In fact, Star here is with us in training for one of those very special children. We are keeping safe, and we will be returning Star as another protector for the children once we return successfully.
Wait, you saw Elkhorn?
He's doing really well, actually.
Walked alongside him.
I heard of them. They were still in Sibilna's palace.
Not anymore.
Thankfully not.
They're back home safe in Thunder. Whatever the name of the place is. Oak something.
So we've been around a little bit, and maybe it seems like Valor's Call is not all lost.
Correct. Nothing is ever really lost, is it?
We kept up the good fight for some time, trying to wrangle in the League of Malevolence, but it was...
Is this League of Malevolence in the same pocket with the Hourglass Coven?
We followed them in here, trying to get rid of them and bring them back for justice in Torrail, but through many battles and everything coming up trunces, and after many fallen allies, I had to walk away. I decided I would devote my life to protecting people who needed it most. And these Briganoks, they don't have anyone to protect them, and I've become kind of their chief spokesperson, if you will.
Are you talking about the battle that happened at the Heart's Desire with Eladon?
You just see her stand straight up.
Elkhorn tell you about that?
Actually, we met Lamorna.
She survived.
And we actually revived Eladon. We reunited his horn with him. He's okay.
We've been busy.
Yeah, protecting little everyone. But it seems like your allies are doing well outside the cave too. You must be proud of them.
This seems a surprise to you. As I said, nothing is ever truly lost.
I'm sure
if
they'd
it's a
love
cause
to
great
see
enough.
you.
Can I do an insight check?
Yeah.
Also, might I suggest, while she is insight checking, don't you think it would be grand to rejoin these two once very close groups of people so they could help protect each other once again?
I don't want... It seems like you have a lot to think about. We seem to have brought you news that you are
Surprised
weren't really ready for. I apologize for that. But through all the things that we've been doing, our main goal has been to free the Feywild and put Zybilna back in charge. For whether that was for the good or bad that was, it's definitely better than what the Hourglass Coven is currently doing.
Moss, how was your insight check?
It's only an 11.
What were you trying to see or peer into?
I think I just wanted to see if she is surprised that people are alive or if she's sad that she hasn't been with them, because it sounds like there was a really like a tremendous fight and there was so much bloodshed that she had to step away, and I want to see if she's saddened to hear the names of her allies or guilt ridden by choosing to go pursue something else.
So with an 11, she's a very like independent, stout, hardy individual. Doesn't let emotions crack through too much, but through some mentioning of Elkhorn and you mentioning that battle, like she's just insanely surprised that you A, know these people, and B, know these very intimate moments of this land. And the expression about Elkhorn that wasn't at the Heart's Desire Palace was one of confusion and then just like discovery of like, why wasn't he there? That's strange. And then you mentioning the battle, she just had a bit of a, you could see like this sort of sunken, sullen moment for a minute before catching herself.
Well, mind you, we don't have all the pieces to this puzzle, but we've definitely met a lot of people along the way. And they just happened to mention that battle and that it was really intense. So if you went through that, I'm sorry that you had to go through it.
And she just kind of looks at you. Thank you. We tried to protect Zybilna and keep this land as pure as it can, but the hags were too much, and after that battle, I couldn't stretch myself thin anymore, and I assumed that the rest of the Valascall had stationed themselves with Zybilna to protect her and the remnants of the kingdom, and if you say they're now spread, and Zybilna is not in control anymore, these Briganox need more protection than ever.
Are the Briganox... Go ahead.
I was going to say, for Moss, make a persuasion at advantage. And what were you going to say, Quincy?
No, I mean, for everything that you've mentioned and said, it sounds like you were all very spread apart. We're hoping to become a sort of needle and thread and put everything back together.
What'd you get, Moss?
That's a nat 20.
Oh my god!
That's a nat 20 plus
Nice.
4 is 24.
Oh
Let's
man,
go.
another inspiration reroll for you.
Hey.
So Mulver taking all this in. And that's true that the Briganox and the Chorids have had quite discourse lately. But if you say you're here to right the wrongs that I couldn't, I'll at least give you that chance.
I'm gonna be like poking Lucifer. I'm like, aren't we supposed to do the dance? Aren't we supposed to do the dance? To like make the hair come alive. Didn't the queen want us to do that?
So Lucifer, he's like trying to find a reason. Like, is it necessary right now? He's like, okay, so he drops.
I mean,
the hair
we
on
don't
the
have
floor.
to. That we don't have to. It's fine.
Oh no, he's already in motion. You better join him. And he just goes.
Wait.
He's going, yeah.
What are you...
So you
The
kind
hair
of take
comes
the
alive.
long strand of blue dreadlock, put it down in front of you, and do that move. And Mulliver just like clutch the dagger a little
We
closer
promise
to
it's
them.
good.
And like what you're doing for a second, it kind of takes a defensive stance. The Briganox kind of move away as you start reacting very wildly, like like scared mice, like creatures would. They kind of gather around her boots, and you do that, and you see the strand of blue hair suddenly. And the one end of it suddenly animates and becomes almost snake-like and starts like looking around. and looks to one of you, and then looks to the other of you. Who is controlling this strand of hair? Whose possession is it in?
I thought that with the blue hair, it was going to do something different. I didn't mean to control it. Do you want to control it, Lucifer?
Sure. And Lucifer just kind of like
I'll
he
nudge
he
it
has
towards
no
Lucifer.
Lucifer has like no idea what he's doing, but he's playing super confident because Molliver is like oozing confidence, and he's both attracted to that, but also like, I must play an even game here. So he just kind of like uses his mind to be like, please work, and kind of like gestures down for the rope for it to like, hoping that he's gonna like coax it to kind of like crawl up him to like come up, like maybe sit around his neck almost like a scarf, like, and sit up here just to show that like, we were taught this to come show you that from the queen herself, she is willing to make an offering of peace if you all are for the greater good and for the protection of all who have been negatively affected.
As you say that speech, and you're not really sure how to command it, but you kind of say that in passionate speech, and you kind of just make your hand go into a fist, like to command do something, and the snake is kind of looking at you, and you go after that speech, and it goes and it wraps around you, grapples you. You got to make a dexterity saving throw.
Great.
We are so new at this. We are very new at this. Can I give like the help action to like try to dig it off? To help him. We're so new at this.
It's a 10.
Oh no.
So the strand just at 50 feet of it just wraps around it, and just falls over, wrapped completely around it.
I meant to do this.
Lucifer from the ground is like, well, that's embarrassing, but we literally just left them like less than a day ago, so still kind of new this whole hair control thing.
When this is happening, Abby just like walks around, then goes up to Quincy and like lightly tugs on his shirt sleeve.
Yes.
Didn't they mention Creeping Lynn?
The what?
Didn't they mention Creeping Lynn?
Yeah.
Isn't that part of the goat prophecy thing?
What was the prophecy?
When the moon obstructs the sun, Creeping Lynn will come undone.
Right. That's Enderlin, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I just didn't know that.
But
That's more.
like they're using the same terminology, so
Right.
maybe there's something there.
Right, so we know Creeping Lynn means Enderlin.
So has
We just
our
don't know
showing
whatever
of this hair control done nothing?
Okay, can I try to control it?
So as that happens, and Molliver looks at you, and although it maybe didn't go as gracefully as you wanted, you clearly showed a strand of the queen's hair that she kind of looks at it and recognizes it for a second. And although it wrapped around you, you were still able to control it. And Molliver just looks down and he was like, they taught you how to move their hair.
I'm not a pro yet, but working on it. Work in progress, like our name.
They don't give out that secret very lightly. They must really trust you.
And we showed you guys the dance, so that shows at least some measure of trust for you all.
You all seem to be coming from a very respectable place, but as I am their protector and the spokesperson to outsiders, I do not give the orders around here, my friends, but I know somebody who does. It is the leader of the Briganox here in these mines, Ubud. Their sworn leader, and they will be able to give you the sign-off that you are requiring.
So we could talk to Ubad and hopefully try to mend whatever relationship is between the Koreds and them. We would like, the purpose of all of this is we would like the assistance of all the clans in taking down the Hourglass Coven, if that was possible.
Taking down the Hourglass Coven? These tiny little things? And you just see them just like mouse-like. They're not exactly warriors.
Well, they're not exactly powerless either, are they?
No, they have an innate trait that they can bend time and space.
Wait, excuse me? Oh, time out. Wait, they do what?
Well, Briganox, you say, I don't know if it's bending
And at this point, she's kind of starting to turn around. It's like, you might want to pick up your friend there. Or
no.
drag him.
We'll
I'm trying. I'm
The
trying.
dragging sounds wonderful.
Okay.
All right, I'll try to help Lucy out.
All right, make a strength check to break him free.
Oh gosh,
Do it.
Strength is my
I
dumb
help
side, I hope
help
you know.
because I'm helping. Please.
I imagine that my hand's like wound by my side, so it's not very easy to like undo my hand.
No,
Solid
you're like,
11.
solid 11. You're trying. This tough hide of a dreadlock is wrapped around tight. Like, ugh.
I looked at Molliver, like, could they help us with this for a second?
Wait, can't Achaidh carry me?
He could.
He's very large. Achaidh.
All right. Come here. Hold on.
But oh,
Oh no,
Achaidh's
no.
still sleeping from his cat nap.
Put the sheet. Strike check. Just barely.
Oh my god.
I rolled a 7, but plus 6.
no.
So Archeron comes on and goes,
Hold on. How do you do this to yourself every time? All right.
reaches down
Every time.
and starts to.
God, this is way more harder than I thought it was going to be.
Uses all of his strength to start to uncoil the hard Koret strand of hair, almost like a wire that's been manipulated and wrapped around, just starts to bend it off of you, and eventually it just wraps off and you're free.
You
And
know,
after that, the strand of hair just becomes limp again.
listen,
I'll hold that.
I've been a fan of bondage my entire life, but that was unpleasant.
Well, consent
say
is
the
key,
least.
so
Ugh. Ugh.
So you were saying the Briganauts can control time?
Yeah, no, I think I heard that part subconsciously as I was wrestling the blue snake that engulfed my soul. Cool.
Well, I don't know if it's because of being in these mines for so long, being near energies that encase wish stones, but the Briganox, they're able to accelerate the passage of time around themselves, enabling to accomplish an hour of work in a matter of seconds.
Wow.
That's how they're able to create these mines and excavate for so long, get so much done.
could we use it to take down the towers?
We could. So, you as the spokesman, basically what we want to try to do is, we know of those large copper lightning rods that surround the Enderlin's theater. We want to take those down. We wanted to completely destroy them, shut off her light, so to speak. And so the Koreds are very much on board with this. We were hoping that if we get the Briganauts to help, we could probably put an end to this once and for all.
Technically, yes. If the Koreds were able to work with the Briganauts, they could tie the very tough hair strands. You'd need a lot of it to be able to pull down one of those things, but the Briganauts could tie them all together in a matter of seconds, so it could be done.
Could be done. So who do we have to talk to? Who's this Ubud?
Follow me, friends.
Just kind of clicks her lips, and all the Briganauts just disappear ahead of her, away from all of you. And you start to descend down the mountain. That is, if you're going to follow.
I'll follow.
Mm-hmm.
Abby brushes off Lucy a little bit.
Thank you, my friend. That was quite the tight grip.
It's fine. It was wonderful to
grip.
see that happen.
Hey,
I'll dismiss the light on the card and just kind of use my dark vision then to follow.
Do I still have the goggles on? I think I do. I don't remember.
No, I think Lucifer went to take them off of you once you'd been passed out.
So Abby goes, ah!
As you start to descend further into the mines, the snake pass, the glittering in the walls start to become a bit brighter as the narrow passageway starting to open up in more open chasm-like structures. And you start to descend into your first open area as Molliver just kind of looks back to you all and says,
Welcome to the city called Wish Come True.
And as you go deeper and deeper beneath the mountains, you start to notice buildings carved into the stone itself, fit for this small capacity of mouse-like creatures, all of it adorned with glittering gems, all cut from these wish stones that you had been told about previously. And hidden in the thick rock walls, sort of hidden behind the thick rock walls and almost illusions. You can see that these rocks, these wishes, almost form images, slight moments in time or like illusionary Polaroids of what the wishes might have been to the person who wished them. You're just seeing snippets of like movie scenes happening in real time. A father picking up a son, someone completing a very hard project, some people winning trophies and awards, so on and so forth, and just brief little glimpses of translucent illusionary scripts. And as you keep going down further, going through the twists and turns of the mine, seeing all the green-skinned Briganox carefully chipping away with their tiny little pickaxes and shovels and hammers, the route ends at a gaping chasm. And on the far side of which is a grotto filled full of stalactites and stalagmites. And in front of you, a truss bridge constructed of intricate wooden struts and beams spanned the 100-foot gap across the chasm. And as you look down beneath the bridge, just seems to be endless darkness that goes well beyond your dark vision.
So Abby still can't see right now?
If you took the goggles off, this area you can see. It's illuminated with various gem lights and torches and stuff.
Cool.
But looking down the chasm is just pure black that's dotted with various purple lights. And as Oliver looks to all of you, in order to see Ubud, leader of the Briganox, you're going to have to pass a test.
Sure.
A test?
What is it?
Well,
if it's one of speed and strength, I accept the challenge. If it's one of intelligence and puzzle solving, I'll leave that to Quincy and Ebby. No offense, Moss and Octreon.
No, none taken. He beat me at crowns.
It's Abby's just like giggling. He's like, you sound smart.
It looks at you all and says, well, as Mulliver declares, this here makes us arrive at the jolly old Riven Wish Chasm. You best stay on the bridge and not dilly-dally.
Why?
And just nods to you all. Doesn't say anything.
Okay.
But
so I think that means we should run across.
What if I didn't want to run?
Could fly.
And if you look at your Roll20 screen,
please.
There it is.
Yay!
Oh, that is very far. All right. I'll start walking forward. How does the bridge feel?
make an investigation check.
You said the bridge.
16.
Oh no.
On the map it says like around 80 feet, but each square is 10 feet of movement. So it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of thing.
Got it. So it's very far.
What was your check there?
16 investigation, just to kind of feel how wobbly it is and sturdy, safe it is, kind of thing.
Yeah, you get on it. It's about 5 feet wide, so you kind of have to handle in a single file motion.
Are there any handles on it? Like, is there like a rope handle?
There's two rope handles. You kind of sturdily get yourself across, but there's not like, floorboards falling down or anything like that. It feels very, very sturdy.
Okay. I'll look back and motion it. It feels okay. And I'll pretty quickly, as quick as I can, not running, but not walking either, make my way purposefully over.
Okay.
Abby looks up to the person and says, "Why can't I leave the bridge?"
Looks to Bolivar and says, "Why can't I leave the bridge?"
Yeah, you said I can't leave the bridge. Why can't I leave the bridge?
I don't think they said you can't leave the bridge.
They said don't get off the bridge.
They said
Yeah.
better make a move and don't dilly dally.
Oh, I thought I must be hearing something. I thought I said something about like stay on the bridge or something like that.
Best stay on the bridge and not dilly dally.
Yeah, so I'm asking. So, my camera ran away. So I was like, why? Like asking why, because he is obsessed with the fact that he can't get off the bridge.
Because you got to stay on the bridge to get on the other side, there, my feathered friend.
Lucifer,
It's a long, long, long way down.
Lucifer picks up on this message of once you start walking, you got to keep walking. So Lucifer comes up behind Abby to just kind of coax him quickly, saying, "Hey, mate, we'll talk about it as we go across. Let's go. Come on.
Okay,
Here we go. It's gonna be so cool.
Okay, but I can fly.
If you would like to fly, absolutely feel free. I think
you could try. You could try and fly if you like.
If you fly, Abby, just make sure you stay, please, over this 5-foot wide bridge. Please do not try to go over either side. Just in case.
And he's like, okay.
I know, strange request, but
I want to use one of my charges on my Wand of Secrets to detect a trap within 30 feet of me. So it's not a whole lot, but I think throughout this cavern, I'm going to be like, trap. So.
So yeah, so as you all start one at a time going onto the bridge, just align your characters just so I know who's going in what formation.
I'm going to be close behind Quincy.
Quincy, okay, going first?
Yeah,
absolutely. Okay, Quincy going first, followed by Moss. Who's behind Moss?
I guess.
Arctreon?
Oh, yeah.
Arctreon, sure.
And then I'll stay towards the back with Ebby.
Yeah.
And then Ebby, are you last or second last?
I'm being pushed by Lucy, so I'm second last.
But if Ebby chooses to fly, he can fly.
But I'll just be first.
How far up are you flying, Ebby? Just to hover the ground, or are you going 5 feet up, 10 feet up?
Kind of just like Abby doesn't trust the bridge. Type flying, if that makes sense. He'll just hover.
He just holds on to one of Ebby's feet and just lets
like,
the air currents
I will be
keep him up off the bridge.
Yeah, exactly. That's totally fine.
Hilarious. Come on, buddy.
Hey,
just hold Ebby like a balloon around there.
And he's just like floating. Floating just over there. Come on, buddy.
So, Moss, you take out your Wand of Secrets as you're going to the bridge. You just look over Mulliver, and Mulliver's just standing there, hands by their sides, just looking at you all. You take your Wand of Secrets, and the light from it spirals around the bridge, around the sturdy wooden holds that go onto either side of the rock, the rope, the boards. Starts to go down sort of on the cliff sides near the bridge as well. Nothing pings for traps or anything like that.
Traps or a secret door?
Yeah, no secret door on the cave or the cave cliffs or on the bridge as well.
Okay.
Lucifer, can you see the purple?
I'll keep walking as far as I can go. Swift walking.
Behind.
Yep, I'll follow close behind.
Yeah.
Ebby, what purple? What?
The purple dots.
So Quincy, as you get to that middle part there.
Oh, on the characters, yeah.
No, I mean like apparently there's purple lights on the walls of this cavern.
Correct. Sorry, the purple lights are on through the darkness in the bottom. There's like
on the bottom.
Purple lights shining out all over.
Can Lucifer sight see it?
Lucifer has 120 feet of dark vision, but I imagine it's pretty.
It goes past his dark vision range.
Okay.
But if I add on the night vision goggles for an extra 60 feet, 180.
You could certainly try.
And Lucifer try to put on the night vision goggles as he drags Ebby to add 60 feet. See if you can see anything.
So you put them down, and you now can see past the chasm and the rock floor, and you see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hewn, carved out stones, all in various piles, piled high. Not coming out from the rock wall itself, but in piles, like stones have been thrown into the chasm, almost like, a trash chasm or something like that. But they're all piled on each other, all these various purple stones, all in various colory hues, some super bright, some a little bit dull. And you also start to hear whispers, voices. And not only you, Lucifer, but Quincy, Moss, everyone. As you get into that middle part of the bridge, you just see, it just sounds like 100, 200, 10,000 very hushed, whispered voices. I wish that I could be with my family. I wish that I could be as champion. I wish that I could kill my brother. I wish they were never born. I wish that I could just take the castle for myself. I wish. All of these very dark wishes that people have been wanting on the material plane all rush towards you. Now, this is going to be a bit of a dig into the notes, my friends. Back
Let's go, huh?
in the Witchlight Carnival.
Yep.
Okay.
3 of you made wishes with a particular person with Northwind.
Okay.
On through their squirrel companion on a dandelion. This was Lucifer, Ebby, and Quincy.
Oh my god.
What?
I have been ready for this. Give me a sec.
What were those wishes?
Give me a sec. I know it. I hear so much.
Oh, here it is. I have it here. Oh my gosh, I'm so good. Okay.
I'm so good.
I've got
I'm
Lucifer's
so
as well.
good.
Oh, this was a year ago.
Yeah, I
Lucifer's
know.
got his too.
Okay, let me know what it is.
For Lucifer, it was to know and have a relationship with his father,
Okay.
which is a very bittersweet, kind of heavy thing. But I don't think he's told anyone because he, as far as everyone else knows, he has a very estranged, stressful, difficult, dark memory of his father and his upbringing.
Mm-hmm. And Abby, what was yours?
Give me a sec. I'm still going through our chat.
Quincy, what was yours?
Quincy wrote down and wished for a safe return home.
Okay. Safe return home, relationship with my father.
So Abby's wishes, I could always have a way to keep what I love from harm.
What to keep from love from harm.
A way to keep. I'll always have a way to keep what I love from harm.
Mm-hmm. So, as you start to walk over this wooden bridge, Mulliver looks over to you. The purple light shining a little bit dully below. But as you get to the middle part of the bridge, the purple lights start to ignite and bright, and the whole chasm is lit with this dull purple light above you or under you that echoes throughout the chasm in various directions on either sides. And all of a sudden, these purple fireballs start to and surround you from the top. Purple flamed ensconced skulls erupt from the seabed of purple gems underneath. And as you'll sort of stop in place on this wooden bridge and just look up, they all stare at you intensely. Various voices and whispers still echoing in your minds from all the malevolent wishes that are erupting from below. these purple flamed skulls just float and circle you for a little bit. What would you all like to do?
Do they look hostile? Do they seem hostile?
They seem to just be circling you at the moment. Studying
Okay.
you.
Lucifer wants to speak out to them and say, "Hello, can you hear us? Can you understand us?" Nod, shake your head, anything, and just tries to like communicate with them.
We can. We're good.
Mm.
Are we allowed to cross?
We are judging. If that will be possible.
What do we
Everyone-
have to do?
And by what are you judging?
Our hearts.
Hearts, your minds, your wishes.
Mm.
And they just keep circling for a minute. And one of them comes very, very close to you, Quincy.
Oh.
And you're just looking at literally a humanoid looking skull.
Mm-hmm.
Flames around it. Goes over to Lucy. Bobs up and down. Over to Ebby, floating up with Lucy still hanging on to their leg.
Abby gets relaxed when it starts getting closer to him.
We are the guardians of the chasm. We were darklings once, falling off the bridge down below, ensconced with the power of the wish gems. We are now the bridge that decides passage to our former leader.
What do you wish for then?
Our people want this land back to the way it was, and we greatly do not want our leader to be in any harm. We are the breeding point. We are the grounds that must be crossed to decide if your hearts are pure or dark. If wishes you have made in your pasts were those of ill intent or good.
Then
Lucy
you-
had your hand up.
No, sorry, I was making my camera stop tracking.
Oh, sorry. Quincy?
Do you know our wishes, or do you want us to tell you? If this is a chasm of wishes, then you must already know the ones that we've made.
We know you have not made malignant wishes. Otherwise the stones would have stopped shining.
Then we may cross, yes?
Make a persuasion check.
15 plus 5. 30, 20.
And the skull just looks over to you. Their eyes, the pupil, like they don't have eyes, they're in their empty sockets, little mini purple flames erupt.
I hope you find what you are wishing for.
And they, each of them, start to sink back into the chasm below as the light from the purple stones start to dim just a little bit back to their normal hue.
Keep walking forward.
Bye, skulls.
Mulliver then joins you on the bridge.
I'm sorry, my friends, but We just had to make sure.
What kind of test was it? What would happen if we would have wished for malignant things?
Well, former Darkling Guardians would have attacked. We would have taken your unconscious bodies out of the mine and tossed you back to where we found you.
Oh.
I don't think it's bad to have a precaution like that, especially when going to a leader. So I think it's honorable to want to protect and save your leader from any malicious intent.
He is the oldest Briganock, after all, and has lived many lifetimes and survived the clutches of the Hourglass Coven thus far, and the Briganocks want to make sure it stays that way.
A perplexed look comes across Ebby's face as he turns to Imnas. Is like, how do you decide what's malignant?
Wishes that are of an evil nature, wishes that would seek selfish opportunities, death of a loved one, the defilement of a person's home, anything that doesn't come from a source of good, and that those actions would relay into the downfall of others.
Now, I understand that, but what if a malignant sounding wish brought on something more positive than what the wish was entitled?
It might bring about something positive, my friend, but obviously the consequences of that wish would endanger others. You might wish for the survival of your race at any cost, no matter what. That, my friend, could have dangerous consequences.
It's an unbalance.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
There must be balance in all things, and great things can be achieved, but harmony must also be in that equation. Now, let's go meet Ubud, shall we? And as Molliver kind of takes charge with the clanging of their short sword and daggers kind of hitting against their boots and their belts, she leads you across the bridge into the center of a grotto, where you see a piebald pony wearing blinders with a small dollhouse-looking hut strapped to its back. And a faint clatter can be heard from inside the hut. And Molliver kind of starts to approach the pony. Might just want to stay away from Keg's hind legs. Sometimes they can just kind of kick back a little bit.
Okay.
And you see Molliver kind of kneel down. Oh, bud, I got some visitors here for you. You awake?
Yes, I'll be there in 1 minute. All right, Molliver, just appraising some new stones for our fellow Briganock friends here. Just one moment. And you hear just kind of a clattering of things kind of being arranged and stones kind of falling over and cutlery falling on the ground and just like the movement of furniture and stuff inside this tiny little dollhouse hut. And then you see the door swing open and a tiny wrinkled creature hobbles into view, accompanied by a wispy bulb of light the Briganocks had before. Very, very, very old, very long, thin, wispy white beard, eyebrows super bushy. You can't even see where their eyes kind of open and meet, and long, flowing, wispy white hair. Kind of almost not like a bathrobe of sorts, but like just a little like woven cloak made out of a hardier cotton material over their tiny little green mouse body. As they come into view, the old Briganock peers at you through their tiny little spectacles they have on their eyes, and they say to you, "Ah, Nick folk, how wonderful. What brings you to our minds here, people?"
Hello, Obud. We're here to take down the Hourglass Coven. We were hoping for possibly your people's assistance and help with that.
Okay, yes. We all want to get rid of that creeping Lynn fiasco, but how might you suggest doing this?
Well, the most direct way is decapitation, but we feel like we might do a little bit more with the help of your people. We've talked to Molliver here, who is wonderful, and we want to let you know that we have been in discuss with Queen of the Koreds.
Oh, yes. Yeah, they don't like us very much. I don't know
Yes.
if you've met them. There's got a bit of a discourse in
We've heard.
communications.
We've heard. But Queen Argensheil would like to show a symbol of peace to the Briganauts. It seems that both sides have been told misinformation of the others, while that some may be true. The Koreds believe that the Briganauts are building machines for Endelyn, while the Briganauts have been told that the Koreds are giving Endelyn pieces of their hair willingly. Both are
Yes,
false.
Creepy Lynn's Theatre of Terror. A dreadful place indeed.
Yeah, oh, we've got tickets, apparently, for some reason.
What?
They were placed on our way, which means she might be knowing we're here.
Oh.
But what she doesn't realize is that we've been slowly and quite successfully, I would like to think, making allies. We'd like the Briganauts and the Koreds to help us with a little chaos, if you'd like. Those copper lightning rods, they must come down. The Briganauts' speed and the Koreds' strength could very easily, quickly, according to Molliver here, succeed in doing that. My party here will go to the front doors of the Endelyn's theater, keep her occupied, keep her busy, while you turn off the lights, so to speak. We've heard a prophecy that if the lights are off, then creepy Lynn might be a bit weaker.
We've also come to find that you didn't hear it from me, that love conquers all, and if we are celebrating and joyous together under one cause together, she will also be made weaker, which is why we must confront the differences and appease them.
This is Lucifer. He's a softie.
Lucifer immediately just is like finishes saying that, he's just like,
He also has a pet cat right now too, so
not.
he's a softie.
There's a spiked tail sort of jutting out from Star's back.
So, you want us to reunite with the Koreds, build a truce, so that Wait might aid you in helping us get our land back, I see.
Yes.
What
I mean-
about Golmo? I
Oh,
suggest
we will get him back for you all as well.
We can very much keep an eye out for Golmo when we're inside the theater.
This is a package deal goal.
Or would you like us to try to save Golmo first? We feel like if we would be most prudent with our time and efficient, really, is that we do all this at the same time. If the lights go off, we distract Endelyn, hopefully put it down once and for all. Golmo gets away safe. We've taken down one hag. We've avoided another. What's one more?
Make a persuasion check.
Natural 20.
Yo, son of a bitch! Why is it with every goddamn fork in the road?
We have some
There's
good
a
rolls going in the
goddamn
past few
grit
weeks.
in this very intense RP session? Ah. Yeah, not a chance in hell. Okay, well, you got another re-roll to give away there, my friend. Who
I'll
do you
give
wanna
one to Ebby. I'll give one to Ebby.
There you go. Got a
Thank you.
inspiration there. Looks at you.
all of our lives, the Brigannox have dedicated ourselves to excavating these precious gems and forced to live in these mines and stay out of the outside world. And I don't know if you saw, but some of those Korats have been outside of our entrance and forcing us in here that we can't even see the daylight anymore.
Can I let you in on a little secret?
What?
Because you know the button heads and everything and the miscommunication and everything. They're just statues.
Well, yeah, the Korats just look like moving statues. That's what they look like. They're boring and rock-faced and don't have much of a personality, if you ask me.
No, we come bearing the information that you all didn't make many efforts to go outside. Understandably so. They are created statues. They are not actually Korats.
They did this, though, under the assumption and false information that you are voluntarily working for Endelin. So please don't.
It was a safeguard.
It was a safeguard because they thought that you were working for her voluntarily. But now that we hear about your architect and everything,
Which is why they
blame
sent us
them.
to bridge this gap of communication.
And I pull out the hair.
There's a dance that we can do if you would be so entertained.
I like because it's like it's not. We haven't done the dance yet. I'm just gonna put it up to his like little spectacles. See, it's part of
Queen's
Queen's dreadlock.
one of her dreadlocks, but her special one, as a sign of friendship and that they want to work with you.
Would you like to see the dance?
I'll volunteer.
It's
as
quite
tribute.
impressive, Ubud. I mean, it's quite a sight to behold. That is the Queen's Strand, after all. Yes, I will need to see this for myself.
Okay. Prepared. Ready?
And
Well,
he's trying to
it
get his
sounds
hand
like-
out of Lucifer's foot, like, don't tell me this.
Prepared.
we both start stretching like Goku and Vegeta before they do the
Yeah.
fusion dance.
Okay, ready?
Okay, ready?
And
And then he just very quickly taps Moss. You control it this time, not me.
okay. Ah.
The strand again starts to move around and
Ta-da.
Don't try to make it climb you.
It's already on me.
Oh,
It's okay.
hey,
I got
you're
it.
doing
I
so
got
good.
it. I got
So
it.
good.
You're a beautiful dreadlock. Beautiful sapphire dreadlock. Beautiful.
and as the strain animates, as you're holding it,
They taught you their secret dance.
And in confidence, we have now shown you all the dance, which shows you how much trust they have in this bridging the gap of friendship.
Never in my long lifetime would I ever think I'd see someone else be taught that trick. The Koreds, their hair as precious as ever.
You don't look a day past a century.
Oh, stop. This might change.
and looks over to Mulliver.
Can you swear they're not in cahoots with Creeping Lynn? I thought we heard that they were using their hair willingly to help her build and structure her contraptions.
Misinformation. They're being scalped and their hair is being removed without
Forcefully.
consent. Yes.
And they'll stop bullying our entrance and leave us alone?
They
I
would like
think-
to work with you all.
I think
Yes.
a proper sit down for both you and the Queen Argentile could be arranged, and I think you guys could might come together with your terms.
You
We
all
can't
can
speak
break
for the
bread once
Queen.
more.
But and we don't want to speak for you either, but it sounds like misinformation campaigns were had, and we would like to have both of you help us,
And help each other.
or let us help you
Mhm.
take down Endelin.
So an exchange of knowledge then, I'm assuming. We show you how to get to Motherhorn, and you give us back our Gormo. Reunite with the Koreds.
And could we also, if we're asking a lot, I realize, and I'll pull out the Sapphire Star. We would also like your assistance in taking down the copper lightning rods.
The powers her contraptions. Her forces are strong. We would be taking quite a risk coming out of the open. We've just been sitting here hoping these things might just blow over and cultivating a mass amount of wealth for when the free people of the Feywild come together. We'll be standing very, very pretty with all of our stones inlaid.
Of course, truly. But the people need to be free, don't they, for that?
True.
And what better way is to prove yourself worthy of the title and position that you will hold by being involved with the freedom and the liberation of the Feywild itself. Here's Abilna is very keen on upholding her laws of reciprocity.
Over to Mulliver. You've been saying you've been wanting something to test your skills lately. You've been feeling a little idle. Would you be willing to lead this charge? She has her 2 daggers in hand, and I don't know if it's just hanging around another adventuring group, seeing the camaraderie around you. She has 2 daggers by her side and just does this move where she bumps the bottoms of the scabbards, and the daggers jump up like this and
Ooh.
I could stretch out my skills a little bit. Cracks her arms a little bit. All right.
The hair on the back of Lucifer's neck stands up.
Lucifer is getting so many crushes this episode.
Strong, independent woman. Can handle a blade or 2.
You seem of good heart. The bridge sussed that out for us. You seem like you want to give back the land that it once was. I will show you the tunnel to Motherhorn. And if you say this Korad strand is what we need to show that we are in league, you want us to just take down these rods right away, or should we wait for a sign of some kind?
So we have, and I'll pull out the sending stone, the thumb of one of the Koreds clan leaders, the Obsidian one specifically.
Ew.
I know. He said they grow it back, but this was the queen. This was the queen's doing, not ours. So, what we'd like to do. How long does it take to get from here to Motherhorn?
You're gonna be bypassing a few stops along the way. That's probably a couple hours or so.
Couple hours. So could we say? What time is it now?
It's nighttime. It's probably getting close to like 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Could we possibly say maybe tomorrow afternoon?
Tomorrow afternoon? We could try
Or
to make
tomorrow
that
at sundown?
work. We do have many of us, but I don't know if we'll be able to coordinate an attack that would take down all the beacons at once.
I mean, as
Could
many as you
maybe
can.
do a couple, and once those are down, Endelyn will probably send reinforcements. She has many deadly adversaries in her wake.
I mean, a crippled wolf is still sooner dead than a live one.
Listen, we've seen how fast your people are with the amazing time control ability, plus with our other allies' strength. They're this small, and they threw a boulder over 100 feet with thunder power. I think a well-timed assault could do some grand damage. And of course, we'll be on the front lines ready to go cause interior chaos.
Well, I get a bit of reciprocity as an order for this exchange. Saving the land and all, giving back Golmo. One moment.
Reciprocity is after the fact, sir.
Well, you've already given me a strand of the Queen's hair. It only figures that I return the favor.
All right.
Takes his cane, goes back into the house, rifles through some things, more furniture moved, comes back out with 3 stones.
More stones.
3 lumps of crystal that have not been yet shaped or cut.
Ooh.
One glows with the golden light, stretches out 20 feet. And another one comes out with a light pinkish coloration. And another one with a reddish coloration. Comes out with a little basket of them. Goes over to the edge of the dollhouse on the pony. As he brings them out, you hear the whispers come to you, Quincy, Lucy, and Ebby, of your own voices echoing towards you, of the wishes that you said to Northwind upon the dandelion.
Mm-hmm.
These ones were stricken out and carved out very recently, but upon your arrival, one of my Briganoks came with a wheelbarrow, now sorting through them. Hearing your voices on the bridge, they sounded quite familiar. And then you passing the test, the Guardian saying you are true of heart. I believe these belong to you.
And just hands his little tiny hands out.
All right. What are they?
They're your wishes. Conformed in stone form.
Oh.
Think of it as a memento of this occasion and something to hang on to for good luck.
What does a wish stone do exactly? Is it just a representation of a wish, or is it? Does it have anything you can do?
Energy of the wishes engraves into the stones and changes the hue of the gem itself. A fairly common wish can produce a gemstone of around 50 gold pieces. An unusual wish, 100 gold pieces, and an exceptionally original wish can produce a very large stone of around 500 gold pieces.
All right.
But once the wish is in the stone, into the gem, it loses its magic and ceases to glow. Your wishes may still come true.
All right. Thank you, bud.
And these stones are are specific to our individual wishes.
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gives you the stones ones at a time, kind of mirroring the coloration of your arcane spirits.
Well, I guess there's no time like the present then, hey?
Hmm. To Motherhorn?
To Motherhorn.
He puts out his little tiny green arm, starts to twist it like this, and one of the faces of the chasm wall, big boulders start to and move apart in a singular motion and move away to a hidden tunnel that opens up for you all to go inside.
Hmm.
Good luck, friends.
Lucifer offers a pointer finger to like shake hands. if that's something that is understood, welcomed.
Just puts out a tiny little, like, his fist, like his hand out like this, and it's like you grabbing it like this.
Pleasure to meet you. We'll see you again very soon.
Oh, one more thing.
Yes.
Pretty sure Creeping Lynn is very unaware of this tunnel's existence, and we'd like it to keep it that way. This should take you to a storage room beneath the Motherhorn stage.
Oh.
So be careful.
Beneath her stage?
Correct.
You don't happen to know anything before we leave of Enderland's, anything Enderland particularly dislikes or is weak to?
Weaknesses?
Type of shampoo.
Like that no tear kind, when it actually means no tears. Because it's no tears, it actually gets in your eyes and you actually cry a lot, but it's no tears. That kind.
All that we've heard of various prophecies and whispers on the wind that some crazy goat people say, but
Gonna roll for this one. Ooh.
we don't know if this rumor is true. And we're not sure if this is even possible. But I've lived a long time and this keeps coming up, but there could be a way to dispose of Enderlin for good. And that is to try and possibly dispose of her during a very particular event. That of a solar eclipse.
Like an actual eclipse?
The solar eclipse, yes.
When the moon obstructs the sun. When the moon obstructs the sun. I was like chanting that to himself. It's like really happy.
But like,
But us Brigandocks, not expert weather people, creatures, but we do not know of any cycle of solar eclipse that will be coming in these parts for quite some time.
right, so like, okay, wonderful. No, that helps so much. Thank you. Okay. That's not difficult at all.
I wonder if we just have to block her from the light of this time.
What if it's in her play? Like there's like
Mm-hmm.
sun and moon things and we just put them together. I don't know, because I can't control the stars. Wait. Did Abby tell us about his travel to the stars?
I think so. Or did you?
No one listened.
Moon? Dead Star.
Yeah.
that sounds about right.
Yeah.
No one listened.
Yeah.
I said Dead Star. Not the Death Star, to be confused. That's a different realm.
All right. Well, thank you, Obad. That is immensely helpful.
We
I
will
bow.
meet with... Oh, no need. But we shall meet with these Korads if they are waiting for us.
You know what?
All of us leading the way. Let's just hope they welcome us favorably.
Oh, they will.
I take a piece of Fluffy. I'm like, I already gave a piece of this to the Korads. So potentially showing them that you are aligned with us may help to soften first appearances when you after this whole conflict thing. So I take like a little piece and I think I just like place it like in front of his house because it's probably like the size of him. Like you could make like a thing, a belt or something with it.
You sort of hand the red string to
Piece.
Ubad and be like,
Oh, what a lovely scarf.
Oh,
just puts it over
perfect.
his neck.
I hope it keeps you warm.
Very much so. I do get very cold down here in these mines quite often.
Show them a piece of this. We also gave them some of this as a sign of friendship, so maybe that'll help.
I will, my friend, I will. Well, seems like you've got a long day ahead of you. Good luck, friends. Let's hope you succeed where many others have failed.
Well, it'll
Let's go
be
cause some
much
chaos.
better if you help us. See that?
The light of Prismia, may she shine bright once more.
You too.
Goes to his little hut, closes the doors behind him, mull over there, puts the daggers back in her holsters.
Way to make a good impressions, my friends.
Well, we're not done yet. This is, if anything, this is to hopefully save our hides. How do we make a solar eclipse happen?
That's beyond my knowledge. All these rumors in the Feywild, it's kind of hard to know which ones are the truth and which ones are filled with trickery.
Right.
A lot of these things have a lot of innuendo and crazy puzzles to them that it's kind of hard to figure out. Nothing's as what it seems.
But what if it
Do-
actually means an actual eclipse?
Well,
Possible.
I feel like if you have a weakness to something, you kind of want to be able to understand when that may occur. Maybe in her castle, she has some type of diagram to detect when the next solar eclipse is so she can hide away.
She might also have some kind of notage of what other things cause similar weak effects to her. Especially if an eclipse is not coming up anytime soon.
Celestial body movements are strong. Finding a mimic would be hard.
I
Death
want
Star.
to talk to
The
Mulliver.
stick.
But I want to ask them if they know anything or have any inclination towards the other things that were whispered on the wind, such as the Fool's Scepter is the key, and then play to her passion, stay on script, a cat, a horn, or a shadow ripped. Do these mean anything to you? Are there any key words in these riddles that you know of? We're kind of lost on those.
Mother
Really comes to my
Horn?
mind, darling. I mainly just stay here and protect the Briganox. I don't travel out to the outer lower ends of the mountaintops unless I need to.
Well, Lucifer, you just mentioned Mother Horn. So Mother Horn, is that like the place underneath the stage?
Motherhorn is the house of Indolin Moongrave. That is where she resides. The stage is inside Motherhorn.
Is there a cat?
No, I've never been inside Motherhorn.
Hide the cat. Hide Star. Hide it. We don't know, cat. Oh, shh.
Aren't you a cat?
Just puts a hand over like Moss's face.
the realization just goes over her. She's like, wait.
Do you
I
have
don't
a
count,
horn?
do I?
Lucifer looks over at Arctron and he's like, I'm not concerned about you.
And he like just like leans in to look up at Moss's forehead, like, do you have a horn?
And as the camera sort of whips out from all of you having this conversation with the newly presented hidden tunnel at your beck and call, gusts of wind coming out from the hidden tunnel, whipping your clothes and your hair as we pan out from the glittery mines of the Briganox. It's here, everyone, that we're going to end the stream.
Oh, yay. Oh, my
So
goodness.
fun.
That was awesome.
All right, stage is set for Motherhorn and the third hag, everybody.
Secret tunnel.
You've got a
Secret
Through the
plan.
mountain.
You've got a plan set. You arranged a peaceful unity of the Chorus and the Briganox, and we'll see how all this develops next time on Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Again, thank you guys all so much for joining us in chat. As always, thank you to these amazing players who continue to blow me away with their awesome RP and continuing to join this journey with us. Not too sure when we're going to stream next because I know that these guys got busy schedules coming up.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. So usually we do one week on, 1 week off. So whether we're here 2 weeks from now or whenever, just keep on to the Dicecream Instagram channels and TikToks, and we'll let you all know when the next session will be coming up. But until then, everyone, stay safe, wash your hands, have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.